Anyway, here we are. 194 HP, 3 runes. So pretty much all that I have left to do is the entirety of Depths and the entirety of Sod, and then we are good to go to win the game. A lot of experience level with this character because yesterday before I ended the stream, I found a Wizlav, and the Wizlav gave me 2 potions of experience as a reward. Despite that, I don't think those will be that impactful for my character. As you know, the longer the game goes, the least impactful potions of experience become, unfortunately. I guess I have LRG with this character. So we can LRG on Crystal to deal a lot more damage. Yep, this guy has a bunch of armor class and it's taking damage from LRG, so that's a pretty good indicator of how good LRG on Crystal is. I don't have that. Well, I guess I have 10 Earth Magic, so 49% power. It's actually not terrible. I thought that it was gonna be much lower. But anyway. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna zombie hands. Zombie hands, literally everything. Starburst. Starburst, literally everything. Beautiful. And yeah, that is a pretty powerful combination. I mentioned it last stream, but my Starburst does 6 dice of 16. That is quite a lot of damage. Also, because of the very high power, it also has pretty good accuracy. So that's why I've been able to hit these Tengu warriors and another monsters that are rather evasive. I guess it's okay that I have zombie hands in order to hit monsters that I wouldn't be able to hit otherwise. I also have toxic radiance for dealing with monsters that are not poison resistant and that are too evasive. Yeah, I feel like some of these spells kind of overlap, but the damage type doesn't. Um, so yeah. Anyway, toxic radiance. What I always say. It's extremely efficient mana-wise. So I'm really excited for using that in SOT, and that is going to make it so that draconians are not like an issue at all for this character. The issue is going to be the orbs of fire. Absolutely, the orbs of fire. Mm. I also have irradiates, but yeah, we can definitely use that on spark wasps, another similarly very nasty monsters. That spell is just fantastic. Okay, Blizzard Demon. So yeah, for many of these monsters, it's really like just a matter of using zombie hands. Zombie hands plus some of my many spells, any one of my many spells will be enough to kill almost everything in the game. But Orbs of Fire happen to be a very specific kind of monster that is immune to zombie hands and also has like a really or yeah, like immune to zombie hands, immune to starburst, immune to toxic radiance. I guess it's not immune to irradiate. So I guess I have irradiate for Orbs of Fire at least, but I definitely would prefer to have something else like Orb of Destruction, as I have mentioned before. Yeah. If it misses that much against something like an Ice Dragon, or I guess a Fire Dragon, we can use it to check. It has 84% chance to hit, and the Fire Dragon only has around 10 armor class or 10 evasion. Orbs of Fire have way more than that, so yeah, I don't think Iron Shot is like a reliable spell for dealing with Orbs of Fire. I do remember this shop. Okay. It's not a terrible shop, but it is not what I need at this point in the game. Books. Maybe one of these books has Orb of Destruction. Well, that one doesn't have it. Alchemy, maybe? No, of course it doesn't. Book of Blood? Nope. What's my chance to fail? Oh, yeah, like, I don't think I have any training in air magic. So, yeah, I don't think I care about that then. Um, Nope, still no Orb of Destruction. And yet again, we find some more jewels, including +6 intelligence, which I wanted before, but I don't think my character cares about it now that I have this. Yeah, 8 intelligence. It does make me weak to cold. Um, hmm. Okay, so what I could do is take off the Ring of Fire that I'm currently using. That makes me lose 1 pip of fire resistance, but I gain 1 pip of cold resistance. I lose the willpower, but since I have the Shield of Resistance, it's like not an issue. I also gain back 4 strength, which can be kind of useful for casting in scale mail, and I could replace it for just the Ring of Intelligence for even more spell power. I think we're gonna do that. Yeah, sure. At this point in the game, what else would I spend the money on? Okay, let's do that. 48 intelligence. It is so much intelligence. In fact, the fact that I have so much intelligence is carrying this character because look at the aptitudes that it has, like, or rather the skills. I mean, it's all like below 15, and I'm casting level 6 spells. I guess Behemoth is also helping with that, but it's probably mostly the fact that I have 48 intelligence. Even with that, like I have wild magic, and I can still cast quite well. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to play this character. This character is very unlike characters that I normally play. Like normally I don't have 48 intelligence on my spellcaster, right? So this is a blast. Good evening, Bycross. Thank you for stopping by. Hmm. Okay. I don't think I want to be close to that bolt. Oh, I think this bolt was probably reworked. Because I hated that it stopped auto travel so much because of all the demons being like on the other side of a lava lake, right? But fortunately, the bolt has been reworked, it seems, and now it appears to be very easy for any player to just ignore the bolt if they so desire. And I'm very glad for that, because I want to do that with this character. Oh, let me just get rid of that smoke demon real quick. Okay, I wonder if that Ring of Intelligence helped me cast anything. Mm, I do lose a bit of damage on Starburst, and I don't really gain a lot. I gain a bit more maximum damage on Irradiate. It was 3 dice of 30 before, and now it's 3 dice of 31. Um, Maybe also a bit more damage on LRD. But I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. I don't have the weakness to cold now, which is the thing that was making me most worried about that ring. Also, I guess I have more strength now, which is definitely good for casting in armor that is not the lightest around. Okay. Bungee shapeshifter. Interesting. Oh, it is a glowing shapeshifter. I see. Better get rid of it before it gets too out of control. I saw 2 giants and I just decided to go downstairs. Like take a bet here and like try to rest my mana. And fortunately, it went perfectly. So we can just rest the full mana, which I already did, and then just go back upstairs and get rid of these giants. Um, yeah, this character is very, very powerful. It kills things really fast. I unfortunately do not have Orb of Destruction, and I'm still worried about how I'm going to kill Orbs of Fire with this character. But at least we're killing everything that's not an Orb of Fire. By the way, if I was to get paralyzed here by that floating eye, I would just die immediately. With so many monsters in line of sight, including Anetin and these guys that can mighty each other and other trolls, like I would just die, and that's it. Not much else that one can do about that. I do have Noxious Bog. Oh yeah, I put it here. Okay, so we can do that, and now we can just kill everything because Noxious Bog is incredibly powerful. Like it really is one of the strongest things that you're gonna see in a 3-rune game against monsters that are affected by it, of course. Mm, Hmm. I guess already it's gonna be good for these two guys. There we go. All right. Those flayed ghosts can be pretty dangerous if you don't know how to deal with them. It's either kill it fast or just not fight in the vicinity of one, um, because of how highly damaging they can be. Like the way they damage you is pretty interesting because it's very unlike any other monster in the game. It's like, sure, they deal like theoretically ridiculous amounts of damage, but they also just give you back the HP that they dealt in damage to you when you kill them. Yeah, we got the Shield of Resistance. This character has been kinda loaded on items. We have the Shield of Resistance, and I guess we have this Ring of 8 Intelligence, pretty good. Um, we got that longsword on D1. I bought it almost immediately for the 8 strength and the resistance to electricity, and I have killed like once or twice with the sword, but I don't have any skill on long blades. I haven't really been using it as a melee weapon, and let me tell you that because it is a longsword of speed, despite the fact that despite the fact that the base item is like not good, it is still usable because speed brand. It just needs a bunch of slaying for it to be really good. But the 8 strength helps, and the fact that it's highly enchanted it also helps. Yeah, with some characters I would consider using it as an endgame weapon. My choice to inscribe an item with your name. Okay, we are going to inscribe, as I generally do, the best item that I have. Twitch.tv/StarPolemic. So yeah, if you have not followed Star Polemic every now and then streams Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Um, he also does art, so you might be interested in that. Supporting the members of my community. I definitely appreciate that. Mm, yeah, let's make Star Polemic into an affiliate, so he can start uploading meme emotes. I mean, he is an artist, so maybe he can draw his own emotes. Yeah, imagine like being an artist and being affiliate, so you just like make your own emotes. I kind of do that, but I don't have any sort of like artistic gift, or I don't have any interest in like pursuing art in general. Like, well, I guess I shouldn't say art in general, more like visual art, like drawing and photography. That's like really not my thing. But I still make my own emotes by like cropping pictures that I see on the internet or like splicing pictures, that kind of thing. I just don't make things myself. Um, Hello, Rigosha. Good to see you around. Long time no see. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you have been playing Crawl recently because Crawl is amazing. Also, you as a whole may not be aware, but there's been a fair amount of people streaming Crawl on Twitch. Maybe not very high profile picture or people. There's one streamer that has a streamed Crawl for several hundred people, and that's like the highest profile person that I've seen play Crawl. Um, but yeah, most of the other people that I have discovered playing Crawl are really like rather small streamers. I guess not really small, just like around my size or smaller, I guess. So you should consider checking that out as well if you wanna like support the community and that thing. I know that I appreciate it. For me, it is very important to like make people more aware of the existence of this game. It's just like amazing of a game. Um, I feel like a lot of game designers should like learn more of what it is to have a game like this one, and in turn start making more games like this one. Okay, that was a lot of dragons. By the way, this bolt is normally a bolt that I would expect to see on Depths 5 as the entrance to Sot, but it doesn't seem to be in Depths 5. Like, in fact, it is in Depths 2. And I am kind of interested in checking that out. I wonder what's gonna be in there. Also, shoutouts to dodging Quicksilver bolts with only 17 evasion. Oh, I ruined the challenge. I was only going to train things to 15, but I went over 15 with that armor skill. That was an accident. I didn't want to do that, but it doesn't really matter. At least it's not like I'm losing a tournament banner. Then I would be kind of annoyed. Um, okay, I guess we're gonna be training those. Mm, Yeah, I knew that it was a bit longer than I would have expected for the training in my armor to reach 15. Have no clue. You might have to. You've watched me only so far, only me so far. Well, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much for it. But yeah, there's been like a bunch of different people. I've even seen B-tubers streaming crawl, and that's like the greatest thing too, because B-tubers attract a different public that otherwise maybe wouldn't be exposed to a game like this. Um, I know that there's some people. I know some people that only watch streams when it's B-tubers. Um, so yeah. I'm happy for that, and I hope that it continues. Maybe this weekend was like a special exception, because I saw that a lot of people that were playing were like Caves of God players. Um, so maybe like a prominent of God streamer played Crawl or something, and a bunch of people decided to try it out. I don't know. I don't play Caves of God. I have never seen anything about the game actually, other than the Twitch, or not the Twitch page, the Steam page. Um, I saw the trailer for Caves of God, and maybe it's just a terrible trailer, but I was not too convinced to ever give it a try. What I do want to play, however, is Rift Wizard. The other day, or no, yesterday, I was watching someone play Rift Wizard after the stream ended, and that looked pretty crazy to me. Like that looked pretty interesting. It is oddly similar to Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup in the sense that it is just going from combat to combat to combat to combat, and with not much in between. It's about building your character and like adapting to what the game gives you. You know, all the good stuff that makes roguelikes amazing, or like roguelikes that are affiliated to the Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup train of thought, or like yeah, the school of thought. I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah. I have noticed that people that don't like the direction that Kroll has been going in for like the past decade or so, maybe even more than that, are people that happen to really like NetHack. So yeah, whenever I see people that just jump into like the Discord or something, complain about something in Modern Crawl, I always ask. Well, I always first recommend NetHack because NetHack had a lot of things that they liked, or just like straight up ask if they were like NetHack players or if they like NetHack, and it always seems to be that they love it. Um, Rift Wizard is pretty neat. You think I would have fun? I also think that I would have fun based on what I saw from watching this streamer play it. I wouldn't be surprised if I indeed had quite a blast with Rift Wizard. Um, I should buy it. I wonder if I should buy it full price or on sale. Maybe on sale because I don't have that kind of like disposable income. But yeah, I can wait. Right now, I have a bunch of games lined up. Just this weekend, it was announced that Blaze Blue, or like the newest Blaze Blue, I guess it's not so new now. It released in like 2017, but it was getting rollback, and I had already bought that game. It just so happened to be that when it released, I was actually like in a pretty good position to buy random trash, so I bought it because I liked older Blaze Blues. And I never really played it too much. But before the stream, I was playing some Blaze Blue, and like I was really starting to think about just starting stream earlier and streaming myself trying to do some combo trials in that game. It's so hard. It's pretty ridiculously hard, that game. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that it is hard to a degree that it makes me like uncomfortable playing it. How difficult it is. I am not particularly too much of a fan of like dropping combos and stuff when playing with people, and I feel like that would happen a lot to me if I played uh, actual multiplayer Blaze Blue. So I don't know how long I'm gonna play the game, but might as well take advantage of it right now that it has a bunch of people online. I still haven't played with anyone, but maybe tomorrow. I just went through some combos in the combo trials today. Mm, but yeah, I play a lot of fighting games. Well, not really that much. I play as much as my hands let me, which is not really that much now that I think about it. But yeah, when my hands let me, when my hands don't randomly start hurting like crazy over me playing fighting games, I know that I enjoy them. In fact, over the weekend I was playing a lot of Guilty Gear because there was the Guilty Gear tournament. It got me excited to play more Guilty Gear, and it was fun. Okay, so something that I have to mention regarding the game and the character is that this Spriggan Air Mage who repels missiles is constricted by zombie hands, and it still has a 70% chance to be hit by iron shot, 30% chance to miss. Hmm. Yeah, I also didn't know that these guys flew until just now when I cast Noxious Bog and it was not affected by it. But yeah, we have Toxic Radiance, easy kills. Okay, yeah, that's kind of dangerous. Better not fight in the general vicinity of Dispersal Trap, especially when fighting a Gyangshi. I feel like it would just jump into the Dispersal Trap and ruin my day. Okay, yeah, even if I don't end up getting Horrible Destruction with this character, I think I would have like a not so terrible time dealing with Orso Fire. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm gonna wait for these guys to line up. Go for that. Maybe Starburst? Aha, Starburst is so good. Experience level 26. That is quite high. Normally characters don't get that high, and this character is only on depth 3. We still have Devs 4 and the entirety of SOT to go. Chances, or rather, it's looking pretty good for this character making it to experience level 27. I don't think I have had a character with 3 runes that has gotten to experience level 27 since the changes to experience. You know, since Depth was nerfed to only 4 levels and experience was rebalanced. Mm, yeah, a lot of changes. A lot of changes, a lot of player nerfs, but I'm okay. I'm okay because the game is still playable. You know, when the game is unplayable, it's like so noticeable. Yeah. Last time the game was really like in a pretty rough spot was when the monster weapon attack delay changes happened. That was bad. That was really like not a good change in my opinion. These guys are very resistant to fire, so maybe don't do that. Yeah, I remember that when the change happened, I was playing like actually like a strong species for melee, and a regular orc. I had like 50 HP or something, and a regular orc killed me from full HP or like left me at like very low HP. And after that happened, I was like, melee is not really like a real thing anymore. And slowly but surely, ever since then, I've been like adapting back to playing melee. I still like Spellcaster a lot more for different reasons. Or yeah, not only because it's better in my opinion, but also because it adds more variety and spice to your character. What I do not like about Spellcasters, however, is that it takes much longer to play them. I'm not a fast player by any means, but Spellcasters make me take much longer. Hmm. It's the Cayman. It's the Cayman. It's the Cayman. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy some crawl. Mm, yeah, I love crawl. I play a lot of crawl. If you have only discovered the stream, crawl is pretty much my main game. So there's gonna be a lot of crawl in this channel now and in the future. Yo, man. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around and checking the stream. All right. So even without my ring of willpower, even without all the willpower that I had before, I still have only a 2% chance to get hexed by Dread Lich or an Ancient Lich. They have the same hit dice, so they have the same percent chance to hex me. You haven't won yet, but you need to get back into it. You're doing simple Minotaur Berserker. Simplicity can be entertaining. Um, I think I should not even attempt to open that. Well, that is kind of unkillable. Yeah, that is kind of unkillable. It has 60 armor class and 159 HP. Um, this is more killable, but still really hard to kill. And this has 84 HP, so this one is easy to kill. It's unfortunate because I want to check out some of those items. Like I want to check out the cloak because my current cloak is kind of trash, and I also want to check out the ring because one of my rings is a ring of intelligence, so there's room for improvement there. I guess this could be regen, and I maybe would be interested in regen. Also, I see a manual of necromancy. Oh, I just thought of something. I am in a very strange situation that doesn't happen to me normally, but I can cast the spell on that. And I have the spell levels and the skill to just cast it, so okay, we're gonna be dispelling a lot of undeath with this character. Mm, so I'm gonna put it here on you for undeath. The way that we're gonna do this is wreath teleport, open the door, and run away. Okay, yes, because we can kill them with Dispel Undeath, but we need to do so one by one. Like we need to do it in a rather careful fashion. I there's very little characters that could take all of that at the same time. Very little, and this one is not one of those. Okay, so I remember that Dispel Undead is now melee range, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna wait until this guy over here is close to me, next to me actually, and just like Dispel Undead like crazy. 5 casts, and it is dead. Okay, my Dispel Undead deals 3 dice of 31. It's 3 dice of 31 that doesn't check defenses, so it's pretty crazy. Pretty good, pretty good. And yeah, thank you for checking out the stream. It's the Cayman. It's pretty much a perpetual tutorial here. That's how I describe it. I always like explain my decisions and like give you insight into why I'm doing the things that I'm doing and like how I try to win the game because every time I launch the game I try to win the game. That's kind of my thing when it comes to the stream. So yeah, I think it helps people improve a lot. And as I suspected, it was an amulet of regen. I think I'm gonna use it instead of mana regen. I think we can drop that as well. Enchant armor. I'm not a fan of this cloak. It has a slaying, but this is really not a melee character. It really, really is not. Like normally I would be a hybrid character, but this just happened to be like an actual full mage. So I don't have any use for something that reduces 4 intelligence. It's like -4 slaying, pretty much. It's not quite that, but it is similar to that. So yeah. Okay, what is that? 3 books. Shock, and Spamalls. Okay, interesting vault with some books, level 1 books on depth 3, probably for flavor. Okay, zombie hands on the Lich. Lich breaks away from the zombie hands. Yeah, those guys are pretty dangerous actually, the Liches. Or those Liches specifically, the ancient Liches. The Dread Liches are not so dangerous, but they can paralyze you. So if you are likely to fail a willpower check, then they are much more dangerous than the ancient Liches. But the ancient Liches can explode you. Even if you have good willpower, they can just blow you up. In the early game, do you read all your scrolls to identify as much as you can, including potentially scroll of identify? Scroll of identify is the most common scroll in the game. In fact, let me do this. Identify. So if you inspect the scroll of identify, this is like brand new for Trunk. If you're not playing Trunk, consider playing Trunk. Um, it now tells you it is found very commonly compared to other types of scroll. So usually, like I just wait for like 3 or 4 floors, and then I just read whatever scroll I have the most of, and it is almost always identify unless something really strange happened. Um, so yeah, that's how I identify things early on. And then I read scrolls not very often because the best item in the game, in my opinion, is the scroll of blinking. It is really, really powerful. And it is not common enough, considering how powerful it is and mm, how easily it can get you away from jail. So I try not to read identify scroll blinking. I I try to read other scrolls, or I read identify only after I have identified scroll blinking, or if the character really needs like consumables. Of course, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be conservative with your consumables if you're gonna die before you actually get to use them, right? Is this slime? I'm actually also wondering that, like, where did all those slimes come from? Weird. It was just like a million slimes here. Do they now spawn in depths or something? Expecting the royal jelly to appear around the corner. Well, I killed the royal jelly. As you can see, there's no more Jiva here in the altar list. So goodbye, royal jelly. Mm, but yeah, that was like on an uncharacteristically large amount of slimes in depths. They normally don't generate at all here. So the fact that we saw a bunch of them was like very unusual. Went for slime instead of bolts 5. Yeah, um, slime is kinda not that difficult with noxious bog. Okay, I'm waiting for a demon blade because I have this thing, treasure trove. That's what it's called. That asks me for a demon blade. Of course, this character doesn't need scrolls of enchant weapons, so all the scrolls that I would have to use to enchant the demon blade to go into the trove are like pretty much nothing to this character. It's just that I haven't found a demon blade, and I would have expected that by this point I would have already seen a demon blade, but it just hasn't happened yet. Hey, Ring of the Hair, 8 evasion. I wonder how much better that is compared to my Ring of 6 intelligence. Having Dispel on Death, maybe it wouldn't be such a terrible idea for me to do Crypt. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let me take a screenshot of that for quality of life. Take a screenshot of that. Aha. Now that that is done, let's replace the ring. Okay, and now let's check that. Let's compare. Okay, so I do lose a bit of damage on some spells. Like Iron Shot goes to 9 dice of 10, LRD goes to 3 dice of 25, Irradiate goes from 3 dice of 33 to 3 dice of 31. This spell also loses a bit of damage, but I think overall I'm okay with not using that Ring of Intelligence, at least for now. Maybe as I continue training my skills to the self-imposed maximum of 15 that I'm going for, maybe it will be more noticeable, but for now it's okay. I guess it's pretty sweet to have 8 evasion. Now I have 25 evasion. Which is already like a rather noticeable amount of evasion with a rather noticeable amount of armor class. 23, 25, 15 is so much better than, for example, 23, 8, 15 or 8 23 15, like the fact that I have decent resistances or defenses in all the 3 defenses that I can have, like, just synergizes and makes the character much more tanky than you would think it would be. So, okay, we're gonna be training necromancy because I got the manual. I might just use the entirety of the manual because why not? Also, transmutations because I got irradiate, so that increases the irradiate damage. I guess we can train everything. Like, really, we can train everything. At this point in the game, it no longer matters. Like, I think I'm already strong enough to win, leaving aside maybe Orbs of Fire. Looks like you're not planning to take advantage of the level 9 spells. I am indeed not going to do that with this character. It would have been a pretty nice character to do it because I have 48 intelligence, right? But it's just that I took the character in a different like direction. I went for variety of spell schools instead of just focusing on one spell school because earlier in the game just gave me a wide array of really powerful spells in different schools, and I just decided to like try to get carried by that. It also helps that I am with Behumet and that I was using a Ring of Wizardry, so it was really not punishing for me to do that. If I was not with Behumet and if I was not using that Ring of Wizardry for so long, these skill levels that I have right now would be trash. They wouldn't really let me cast anything. Mm. So yeah, shoutouts to Behumet. Also shoutouts to having 42 intelligence. By the way, I'm really surprised. It really seems to me like slimes now just generate in depths. Maybe it's a weird thing that just starts happening if you kill the royal jelly, or maybe it's like something that changed. Air and Ice Magic aren't even on the list. I know Air and Ice Magic aren't even in this list. And normally I like to get my refrigeration. In fact, I got it offered from Behumet, but it was too late. And when it comes to Air Magic, I don't really get too many Air Magic spells normally. Um, I think they're rather powerful, but I just didn't get them this time around. Or I didn't get them early enough for them to be alluring. Yeah. Yeah, it just was a slightly different kind of mage, something that I don't normally play. In fact, very only mage, not really like melee hybrid, which is something that almost all of my mages end up becoming, and um, and it has like a very rich variety of spell schools, including necromancy and earth magic, which are schools that I don't normally get. In fact, this one and the mummy were the two of them were like rather unorthodox spellcasters for me because I was using summonings, I was using necromancy, I was using earth magic. It's just like a bunch of spells that I don't normally get. Mm, but yeah, we very trivially killed Shtagwa there because Shtagwa unfortunately has like no evasion, and monsters without evasion kind of just explode against Iron Shot. Um, of course, Iron Shot is very mana intensive, like very mana inefficient because it's a spell that costs 6 mana and only hits one monster and may miss. It's like really, really bad if you think about it. People do get allured by the damage output on the single target, and I know that I'm not gonna blame them for that. But I would rather just not use it when I have the option to do something better. Like for example, there I went for Zombie Hands, Starburst, and that killed 5 monsters in 3 turns with 3 casts. And that was what 12, 17 mana. If I had tried to kill those 5 monsters with Iron Shot, I wouldn't have killed like 2 of them before I ran out of mana. Iron Shot plus Zombie Hands is clutch combo. Funny thing that you mentioned that because that is why I went for Iron Shot and for Zombie Hands, I guess. I just noticed that I have the combo and I went for it. Okay. Hmm. The fire dragons are kind of annoying. I need to Iron Shot them. For the draconians, I guess we can but do that and Noxious Bog. But yeah, for the dragons, I really need to Iron Shot them because the dragons are resistant to poison and they fly and resistant to fire. Hey, Spin Dart, good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. How has your crawl been going lately, Spin Dart? Still not going so well. I hope that it gets better, if that's the case, of course. Mm, okay, these are actually really easy to kill because they don't resist neither of the two things that I do really well, which is fire and poison. Okay, Golden Dragon, White Draconian Stormcaller, and Red Draconian Scorcher. I have, well, I recently noticed, I found out that now employed Draconians are only a specific color. Like, for example, Scorchers are always red, and Stormcallers are always white, and Annihilators, I think, are always yellow, and Knights are always purple, something along those lines. Let's find out. Um, this is the key combination that I want. You haven't played too much work during December. I see. There's a lot of like industries that just get a lot of business during December. I hope things get better for you and you get to spend some time with your loved ones in this time of the year where people usually do that. Hello, Butterfly as well, aka Flutterby. Hello. Thank you all for stopping by. Mm, and joining me for my win number 100 in this account. In total, I'm getting really close to 200 wins. I think I have like 192 or something. Mm, so, Draconian Knight. Working overtime for money so you can blow it all irresponsibly. I see. Oh, it seems that Draconian Knights are always black. Okay, that's a good thing to know about. I wonder what's the employed purple draconian, because purple draconians are probably among the most dangerous ones. Okay, that was pretty easy. Um, it's funny. I like that vault a lot actually because it was like a room of draconians that just progressively got more diverse and more dangerous. Like we got Quicksilver here, and purple draconians and Quicksilver dragons are like really scary. And then at the end we got two employed draconians and a golden dragon. Pretty good way to end that vault. I enjoyed it. Okay, well, I kind of want my Demon Blade. Let's just go do Bolts 4, because I never did that. Yeah, I really do want my Demon Blade, and I want to go into that treasure trove. And after we do that, we can just go into Sod and win the game. It also helps that this will like make it so that I see more game and maybe find Orb of Destruction. And Orb of Destruction will be extremely useful for Orbs of Fire. Right now, as I have been repeatedly mentioning throughout the entirety of this stream, Orbs of Fire are probably the thing that worries me the most when it comes to this character's survival, because it has a hard time killing them. This character has nothing that it can do reliably against Orbs of Fire. My best shot is Irradiate, because Irradiate ignores evasion and it hits really hard, right? But I cannot spam it. And if I get to a point where I would be contaminated, it would not be good. Honestly, a good part crawl is seeing what loot you get. Oh yeah, it's a lot of like it's like gacha. I have compared crawl to gacha before. Fortunately, crawl is a free-to-play game. Imagine if you had to pay $1 to identify this cool randar that you got, and that's pretty much gacha. And that is why I don't play gacha. And I would recommend you to do the same, or I guess to not do it. Do not play gacha. Yep. Iron shot. Or no, zombie hands. Zombie hands is what I did here. LRD on the war gargoyle. The war gargoyle shatters. Good stuff. Let's continue training necromancy. I wonder if I should just train it first to get rid of the manual, and then we can train the rest of the things. If you're wondering why I want to actually use the manual of necromancy, it's not because I want to get like a higher level necromancy spell or anything, but because it will increase the spell power and therefore the damage of the spell undead, and it just so happens to be that it's really good for me to be able to kill liches faster. In general, Dispel Undead is not something that I use very often, but I will use it if I have the option to use it, you know? Same goes for LRG here. Since the level is made out of crystal, it's a rare occurrence in the bolts. LRG is pretty good for this place. What's my third spell from B besides Polar Vortex and Insta-Kill? I got Shatter, Polar Vortex, and Maxwell's Instant Kill. Yes, this character could maybe go for Shatter, especially with the 42, maybe 48 intelligence. But I'm not going to do so. I don't think I have enough game left for that. And this character could theoretically go for 15 runes, but I'd rather just like seal the deal and go for my win number 100 with the good old Railbird Run that I haven't been able to win ever since I started trying, by the way. So yeah, I just want to get rid of the looming reminder of the Railbird Run. Okay, I think we're gonna go for Toxic Radiance here, and again, Ignite Poison. Ooh, it didn't kill the Yoctor. Oh, never mind. Okay. So yeah, if you have never done slime with Noxious Bog, it's really good. Also, I am very surprised that apparently now slimes generate in depths. I wonder if they are like a rare moth. Also, there seemed to be a lot of slimes when I was doing depths a couple of minutes ago. So maybe that should be tuned down a little. Okay. No, that hits me. This doesn't hit me, however. Probably should have targeted like a different tile to hit this centaur warrior as well. Yeah, LRD in this place is so good. In fact, it's so good that I'm gonna quiver it just for this level. Um, yeah, the crystal deals more damage and makes a bigger explosion. So it is pretty crazy, even against monsters that have like good amounts of armor class. I guess Sojobo doesn't. So yeah, this is gonna be good. Do you have any recommendation for killing Phantasmal Warriors as a Demigod Ice Elementalist? My recommendation is to try to run away from a Phantasmal Warrior on D11. Like if I was on D11 and I saw a Death Knight, because I'm assuming that it was a Death Knight with his band that had a Phantasmal Warrior around you, I would probably not do that level until after doing Lair and maybe after doing Orc if I could. Um, as after doing Lair and after doing Orc, maybe you will have like some form of hybridization or like more damage variety with your character, and you should be able to kill a Phantasmal Warrior by then. Yeah, sometimes you just have to realize, hey, there's no way that I can deal with this right now. Like I shouldn't even attempt. Uh, when you start figuring out that kind of situation, then you're like actively improving at crawl. Um, I've been expecting people playing crawl, as I have mentioned recently, and whenever they die, they usually don't go for the long run. But whenever they die, it's because they like underestimated the danger of something in the early game. That or just like got too greedy and ended up making a blunder because of that. But that happens to everyone. In fact, it has happened to me at least once in the last month. In fact, I think it has happened to me once in December. Um, yeah, with the demon spawn that I killed in Sot the other day. That character should have won the game, but I just wasn't wearing a ring of poison resistance when the time came to do Sot. And that was a massive mistake for that character because I ended up dying to not having poison resistance. I cannot state enough how, or I cannot emphasize enough how important I think it is to have poison resistance on on your character when it comes to when the time comes to doing so. I really think it's like a crucial thing. I'm not liking this situation. Unfortunately, the Crystal Guardian is too close to me. If it was far away, I would use LRD and it would be easy for me to kill it. It has too much armor class, so LRD on this Peacekeeper wouldn't do anything. But it would prevent the Peacekeeper from mightying the Crystal Guardian. I think I should just teleport. That sounds correct. Mighty Crystal Guardian. Well, alright, that wasn't so bad. It was going well, but the thing is that instead of blocking the Crystal Guardian, I could have just gotten hit twice and then I would have lost so much HP. I was at like 180 when I teleported. I could have been at 60 instead with some bad rolls. Fortunately, it didn't happen, I have to say. But yeah, it is important, I think, to like be able to identify and determine when something is like not going in your favor. By the way, I kind of hate that Crystal reflects Starburst because you get a lot of spam of like this spell will hit you. Are you sure you wanted to do it? And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Minor Magic. Oh, for a second I thought that Minor Magic had Blink. Unfortunately, it is not the case anymore. Yeah, ever since the book rework of 0.26, it was. Ever since that happened, I don't know what books have what, and that slows the game a lot for me when it comes to these bookshops, which I am not particularly a fan of personally. But that's just like old player memory, like kicking into play, unfortunately. Okay, so we did Vault 4. Still no Demon Blade. Should I do Crypt for a Demon Blade? I was hoping to find Marjorie here. 19 viewers, nice. How is it going tonight? Hey, 19 viewers. Hello, 19 viewers. I hope that you have been enjoying the show. How is it going tonight? It's going pretty well. I think this character is very close to winning the game. And take a look at the aptitudes, apart or the skills rather. Apart from the armor that I accidentally overtrained, I am trying to go for like only 15 or below, which is like a banner in a tournament that I have never gotten. Um, it is greatly aided by Behumet and the fact that I had a ring of wizardry from very early into the game that I just forgot to take off. But I have been able to get like a very wide variety of high level spells in different schools thanks to all of that. And also at a very high power because I have 44 intelligence. Somehow I have 44 intelligence. Um, it's just a bunch of intelligence loot that I have gotten with this character. No, I know that I'm not going to complain about it, but yeah, this character feels like a really powerful spellcaster, despite the fact that he doesn't have level 9 spells and will most likely never get them. B5 Bog. Maybe I will do that because I do want my Demon Blade and I have already done Elf. Maybe you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna go do Crypt first. So there was, yeah, that ring gives me 2 pips of resistance to negative energy. We're gonna put that on and we're gonna go have a good time in Crypt. Go Crypt. Uh-huh. And now I am immune to negative energy. Literally one of the few immunities that a player character can ever acquire. So, oh, maybe not anymore. Oh, never mind. I am not immune. I only have 2 pips. For some reason I thought that I had 3. Huh. Well, it doesn't matter. 2 pips is plenty for this place. Something that you may not know is that you can LRD Simulacra. You can LRD Simulacra and skeletons, of course, but you cannot LRD zombies. Regardless, I don't need to do anything other than Dispel Undead. But Dispel Undead is not quite that mana efficient, so I would rather just retreat and fight monsters in the stairs. Then when I am done, just like rinse and repeat. It's so good. How much damage does it deal? 3 dice of 31, and it can get better if I go back to that Ring of Intelligence. Just for curiosity, I'm not gonna roll around with that. It's still 3 dice of 31, but the 50 intelligence is a very imposing number, I think. A lot of intelligence. My characters are not normally that smart. Okay, Dispel on Death gets rid of the zombie. I guess I wonder if Iron Shot would be better for dealing with zombies that just don't have that much evasion. Um, I think that one just like gets one shot by most of the things that I can do, like LRD. Ooh, it didn't get one shot by. It didn't even get 2 shot. That's surprising. Dispel on Death. Wait for this guy. Dispel on Death. Dispel on Death. Give me back my HP. Dispel on Death, Dispel on Death. I should quiver it. I should quiver Dispel on Death. Dispel on Death. Alright. Now, I remember being afraid of the Revenant in my mommy that I played the other day. But this character has nothing to fear when it comes to Revenants. Oh yeah. So quivering Dispel Undead has been pretty good. I would love to use an Amulet of Mana Regen as well, so I don't have to rest all my mana pretty much every fight. Amnesia. Okay. What do I want to Amnesia, if any? Maybe Inner Flame. Hmm. I think I'm gonna Amnesia Inner Flame. Yeah, I never really. Well, I used it a bit, but that was pretty much it. Didn't really use it that much. Feels some mana efficient at these power levels. Yeah, if you like only have to cast it like once or twice to get rid of a bunch of monster or like a single high HP monster, then it's like a pretty amazing spell. Um, I still wouldn't use it against many monsters. Like for example, having to use 12 mana to kill a single monster is like kind of jikes when I could have just waited for the two zombies to surround me and then just gone for like the same amount of irradiates. Um, and then that kills the two of them instead of only killing one of them. But it is definitely like amazing. It, as I always say, like it trades off mana efficiency mm, for just like raw damage output. And I guess this spell that has advantages that Iron Shot, for example, doesn't have in the sense that it just ignores shield, it ignores armor class, and ignores evasion. It just deals damage. But yeah, it's pretty good indeed. Alright, single cast kills a vampire mage. Not that those guys have a lot of HP anyway, but I'm not gonna complain about that. And yeah, this character feels like it was made for this. Okay, take a look at that. That ghoul just like kind of blew up. 3 casts. These guys have like 150 HP each, so 3 or 4 casts is pretty good for dealing with those guys for sure. Okay, so let's turn everything on. As I was doing before. And yeah, everything will be at 15 or slightly higher than that. Since I already broke the conduct or like the challenge that I was going for by accidentally overtraining fighting, I don't particularly care too much about overtraining necromancy as well, but it's fine. Okay, so despite appearances, this guy is not undead. It's a demon, so we cannot dispel undead it, of course. All right, Irradiate does a trick. Rat skeleton. Sure, rat skeleton. I wonder why every now and then very weak skeletons generate here. It hasn't happened really that much recently, but yeah, in the before times, it just used to happen so much that you went into crypt and you got to fight a bunch of really trash skeletons. Now it's only, or generally, like really dangerous kinds of skeletons, and raids and vampires and vampire knights and Yangshi. Hmm. I wonder why Yangshi are classified as vampires in this game. Like they have the glyph of a vampire, but at least that I knew, they were more like zombies than vampires. Zombie hands. Starburst, that killed the two of them. Wow, my Starburst is pretty crazy. That went pretty good. Okay, yeah, this character is just powerful. Um, I feel more powerful than other characters that I have played in the past with level 9 spells. And this character doesn't like it's not even close to getting that. But I guess that's the power of having very high spell casting and therefore very high spell power. Oh yeah. Also, you may not know, but I have that mutation. So literally the only mutation that I have, and it's like really good. It's second to robust for this character. Um, it's like having a mutation that gives you a bunch of slaying if you were a melee character. That's how amazing it is. Hmm. Pale Draconian. Do those still exist as enemy Draconians? Um, okay, yeah. I ran out of mana, so yeah, that's what happens when you run out of mana. Okay, Dispel Undead on the Curse Skull. 2 casts just gets rid of the Curse Skull. Pale Draconian is in a new Wislav. Can remember this one. It used to be that they also generated as enemies, but I don't know at which point they were removed. I think they were removed recently. I think I got to stream a couple of games where they were when they were still a thing, but very obviously not anymore. I find it a bit surprising that it took so long to remove them because if you think about it, getting shot by a cloud of steam in SOT is A, not dangerous, and B, actually helpful for the player because it breaks line of sight of the much more dangerous Draconians. So yeah, no wonder they no longer generate. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing one of those guys in like a volcano or something. Maybe if it was like weaker than your average Draconian, um, but it doesn't necessarily have to be weaker than your average Draconian. Okay, the Flayed Ghost is all the way over there. It's being protected by these skeletal warriors. That is mildly annoying because obviously I want to get rid of it immediately. Hey, 00OD, we can definitely inscribe an item with your name. What item would you want me to inscribe? Yeah, I'm gonna wait until you give me a suggestion or say something. Um, but yeah, I can inscribe any item that you want me to inscribe. Hmm. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. You have a lot of armor class, I think. Oh, you have non-armor class. Okay, we can LRD one of those skeletal warriors to deal a ton of damage to that guy, and then we can probably weapon. Ah, sure, we can do weapon. Inscribe 00OD. Hmm. I'm not a fan of being at 73 HP surrounded by so many of these guys. Yeah, I'm thinking Starburst. The issue with Starburst is that it has 3 pips of evasion. I guess around 15 evasion. So it is not a guarantee that it hits. Let's see, 69% chance to hit. That is definitely most unpleasant. And I do not have Blink. So yeah, I would say that this is slightly bad, maybe even leaning on moderately bad. If I drink cancellation, by the way, let me show you. If you drink this now, you will no longer be flayed. So it is pretty much like drinking a potion that gives me 73 HP. Um, you didn't realize Starburst was dodgeable. You thought it was explosions. Funny that you mentioned that because there used to be an item back in the day that was called Rod of Ignition, I think it was, and it shot a bolt, like a bolt of fire, but every monster that got hit by that also got an explosion, like Modern Ignition. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that item had been the inspiration for the current spell. But yeah, unfortunately, it is dodgeable. I can make it undodgeable with zombie hands, but I cannot use zombie hands against a flayed ghost because it is a ghost. There's nothing that the zombie hands can grasp. Um, so, hmm, I guess I can go for Starburst regardless. Okay, you destroy the flayed ghost, so now we're fine. Rift Magma Bolt. Yeah, I liked Magma Bolt, but only a bit. I'm not okay with or rather, not that I'm not okay. I'm perfectly fine with players not having any bolt spells because they were kind of annoying to use. As it is right now, like for example, with the spell that I can just like put it on the quiver and mash it. Um, and it's fine. I don't think I would be able to do that so well with Magma Bolt. Also, the whole thing of player spells or player bolts no longer existing is like not really true if you think about it, because Zombie Hands is still a thing. Um, yeah, I can Zombie Hands, and Zombie Hands has like the bolt targeter. I wonder if there's any plans for Zombie Hands to be reworked or something happens to zombie hands where that's not like a thing anymore. Spark and Lightning Bolt too, but I was leaving those aside specifically because that's kind of our Air Magic's thing. Multi-sapping. It has always been. In fact, I have quoted it here several times. I think that's like the earliest iteration of positional magic in the game. Those spells have existed in the game since I started playing, and I started playing in 2011. So, like, of course, they're not gonna get removed. Like, I could bet that those are gonna stay because those are actually positional magic spells more than bolts. It just happens that they can double as bolt spells. By the way, that ring is pretty neat. I'm not a fan of the weakness to cold, and I'm not gonna grab it because of that. But I would have been pretty happy with such an item earlier in the game. I'm gonna get the money. The crystal plate, obviously, like we don't want it. It's +0. Even if we could wear it, we probably wouldn't. And the arbalest is like kinda useless. We're not gonna throw away the shield of resistance for a weapon that I have no skill on. So let's just get the money. And there's 2 scrolls of acquirement too. Boots of Rampaging, Book of Fire. Book of Fire has Ignition, right? It also has Fireball. Maybe I could learn Fireball and Ignition. I think I can learn the 2 of them. Um, well, the ring is not so terrible. I don't need it. I don't need it. Mm, yeah, I think I could grab the ring. Nah, I'm gonna get the Book of Fire. Why not? Yeah, Ignition is amazing. Um, Ignition, 34% chance to miscast. Sure, why not? And I no longer have any more spell levels for other things. Huh. It's that's a little bit of an extra challenge that comes from not being able to train spell casting to 27. Um, I have limited spell slots. So what would I forget then? Maybe Toxic Radiance. Yeah, because Toxic Radiance is pretty decent, but so, Noxious Vogue is just better, and it just destroys Draconians faster than Toxic Radiance does, and much more mana efficiently. So yeah, let's forget about Toxic Radiance. Ignition is so good, and you get to play a proper Fire Mage. Yeah, I guess I could even just like start training only Fire Magic. Maybe with 15 Fire Magic, I can cast Ignition. And even if I can't, I guess I can always put on the Rig of Intelligence, and then I'm pretty sure I would be able to with 15. That is, if as it is right now, I have it at 24 chance to miscast. With 15, I definitely would be able to cast it with 50 intelligence. How is Firestorm? You've never tried using it. It's really powerful. I know for sure that I have at least one character on YouTube that used Firestorm. Maybe 2, at least. But probably, like, I know for sure that there's 1 and maybe there's 2. It's really, really amazing. It is a targeted explosion that like covers a large area, and it's one of the very few spells of the game that deals damage to things outside of your line of sight. Because the explosion is that big that no matter like as long as you target it as far away from you as possible, it's gonna hit things that are outside of your line of sight. So pretty good spell. Like it's a level 9 spell. It breaks the rules. You still remember my responsible use of Firestorm Gene? Yeah, I think it was one of my first genes that just got Firestorm and I put it on the quiver and I literally went through SOT just mashing the quiver. It was amazing. And I think that was with old Maclev before it was nerfed, and that's why I was able to do such an irresponsible thing. I don't think I would be able to do it nowadays, but I would still put it on the quiver. It's just that I wouldn't use it against like single targets or something. Firestorm users should have 3 pips of fire resistance and not care about collateral damage. Kind of like Cerebov. Cerebov is that. Um, The funny thing that you mentioned that, because I remember there was this one time where I was banking on Cerebov using Firestorm to kill a Blizzard Demon, and Cerebov just straight up didn't use Firestorm to kill a Blizzard Demon. And I think I was weak to cold because I had to be to have 3 pips of fire resistance to fight Cerebov. And yeah, that didn't go well. I think I died in extended in that character. I think it was one of my Dungeon Depths Pandemonium attempts. Oh yeah, Amnesia. Amnesia. Ooh, I have not that much amnesia. Oh yeah, I think I remember this ghost. Well, it would be a shame if you were to get destroyed by the spell on death. Okay, goodbye Toxic Radiance. Hello Fireball. Who would have guessed 9 Settler forgetting Toxic Radiance for Fireball? Like, yeah, that's not a thing that happens very often. But let's take a look at the damage. 3 dice of 22. Not terrible, but it also comes with the versatility of not missing and hitting a relatively large area. So yeah, not bad at all. So We are going to go back to Crypt because I still haven't seen a Demon Blade. I can't believe it. Yeah, I'm like hoping to find Marjorie or something. Since we already did the entirety of the devs, like I was also hoping for a Hell Knight band there. It just never came my way. Most unfortunate. Okay. Let me tell you that running around in Crypt with Dispel Undead feels so good. It just deals ridiculous amounts of damage in an extremely consistent fashion as well. Um, yeah, if it could miss, it wouldn't be nearly as good. But the fact that it can miss is what makes it incredible. Oh, I ran out of mana. Yeah, that is going to happen a lot because single target spell. Mm. Well, that is annoying. You don't have any evasion. Oh, but you're very resistant to fire. Maybe we dispel this flying skull. And there we go. And then we dispel the cursed skull. Didn't get one shot, but it's almost guaranteed to get two shot because it has trash HP. There we go. So good. Boots of Rampaging. What are my current boots? They are +2 boots. Okay, we're gonna leave these on the floor. Our double sword? Come on, it's much more rare than the Demon Blade that I was hoping for, but yeah, pretty good weapon. It's just that this character doesn't have melee. Despite the fact that it has like such a good weapon, it really doesn't have melee. This is obviously the entrance to the vault. I'm gonna leave that for last. Um, Double sword is better than Demon Blade. It deals more damage, but it swings slower. I do think that dealing more base damage or having more base damage is like a good thing. Oh, I guess I can tap some of these low-level skeletons. Maybe not a Bunjeep, but we can tap most low-level skeletons. We can also LRD things that have distortion, for example. There we go. Yeah, it's funny because those guys, I think they shouldn't generate here, whites. They're probably way too weak for this point in the game. A Caustic Strike Skeleton. It's moments like these that make me extremely glad that I have Dispel on that, because otherwise that would be a pretty mean monster to fight against. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like I should also exclude that. Oh, a Dreadlich opens the gate. I'm in pretty good shape for fighting that guy. Um, One more. Okay, looking pretty good. Gonna dispel under the Dreadlich, and then I'm gonna start irradiating to hurt the monsters that are supporting the Dreadlich. Alright, there we go. Mana efficiency. Do not run out of mana. We kinda have mana regen courtesy of Behemoth, but it's not so amazing. It's not like we can be at 0 mana and then be at high amounts of mana all of a sudden. Behemoth doesn't work like that. You kind of have to be somewhat conservative with your mana. Going to 0 mana is like really bad if you don't have any other way to kill things, of course. Does shouting to control summons take turns? It does take turns. It's not a free action. And that is very intentional, because otherwise it would be optimal to micromanage your dudes. And that's pretty boring. No one likes micromanaging. At least not in Crawl. I guess there's whole genres of games designed around micromanaging, like real-time strategy, but Crawl is not StarCraft, you know? You feel like Behemoth Mana Return is similar to wearing a Mana Regen Amulet, maybe only a little bit better. Yeah, I think they complement each other quite well. In fact, this character for some amount of time was using a Mana Regen Amulet until I found a normal Regen Amulet. But I think I might want to go back to the Mana Regen. These rings are pretty bad. We're gonna leave them on the floor. I mean, I say they're pretty bad, but as always, they're pretty bad for what this character wants. I mean, I would love to find the first ring, for example, um, in the early game, but at this point they don't really do anything anymore. Behemoth plus mana regen very strong. Closest to micromanaging is playing a pure summoner. Kind of, but it does take a turn to direct your allies, so yeah, it's not so free. I guess the same can be said for for real-time strategy games. It's not free to micromanage things. Mm. Yeah, I am surprised by real-time strategy. It is so difficult. I used to play Age of Empires a little when I was younger, but I never like played against people. I tried playing once against someone on one of the newer versions of Age of Empires, not the newest one. Age of Empires 2, I mean. And I got like absolutely dumpstered pretty much. It is like really difficult, and I don't really have like the skill nurtured. It would take way too long for me to like get to a point where I can actually compete with like an average enthusiast of a real time strategy game, and I also don't like them that much. I don't like the PvP aspect, I guess, that much. I have played against the AI on the hardest difficulty, and I have won before, so there's that at least. Would haste help command them faster? It does help command them faster. Haste hastes all that you do. Like it makes everything faster. So yeah, haste might be exactly what you need. RTS multiplayer also requires you to keep up with the meta. I guess. Yeah, there's like a constant improvement to builds and things like that. Mm, I think I should go back to Mana Regen. Not gonna lie. Am I done? Seriously? I thought that I would have more level. Does haste allow you to equip items faster? It does. It just like speeds everything that you do. Um, you're swinging a very slow weapon, now you swing it slightly faster, you walk faster, you cast spells faster, everything is faster. Crawl meta is very easy to follow. Also, crawl meta is irrelevant because at the end of the day, it is a single player game. You can get away with doing pretty much whatever you want as long as you're good enough to actually back up whatever you want to do. I like to win, so I usually try to do the things that I know have been successful for me in the past. Sometimes I do little experiments, like with this character, just going for a wide variety of level 6 spells in different schools. By the way, check out that ignition at 11%. We're definitely going to be able to use that in SOT. But yeah, it's not like I would go for like the melee ogre or something. I'm really not a fan of like crippling my chances of winning that much. uh, Crippling them somewhat is kind of okay, but it's too much to try to go for a melee ogre. Um, so yeah, that was it for crypt. Let's go back to the ring of the hair. Goodbye, ring of cold resistance. Okay, I'm okay with these resistances. I have one pip of cold resistance, two of fire resistance. The only issue, as I have repeatedly mentioned, is that I do not have a way to very consistently kill orbs of fire. Um, Not much that we can do about it. I hope that I don't get a lot of them in SOT. I guess I could do a Ziggurat. Crawl meta is generally more dependent on game updates as opposed to someone else making up some strategy. Yeah, I guess. I guess some things that were good in the past are quite probably not gonna be good nowadays. For example, necromancy. Like when I started playing, everyone thought necromancy was like the greatest thing in the world. I always thought that it was really boring. I never liked it. Not back then when it was overpowered, and not now. But people used to love it. Now it's kind of flipped, and people think necromancy is kind of lame. So like, it's funny how it has been like aligning to my beliefs, the general consensus on necromancy. I like high level necromancy, I have to mention. I like zombie hands, I like haunt, I like I don't know, mummy form somewhat. I like Borg. I like Death's Door. I don't like Death's Door that much, but it is a useful thing to have. Um, but I don't like the low level spells. Like Pain is insulting, and I don't like the whole micromanaging skeletons because I don't like allies in general. So yeah, I just don't like starting as a necromancer. But I wish the necromancer early game was more appealing. But maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe it's just that I don't like the things that necromancers do, and other people do enjoy those things. Agony is no good. Yeah, melee range agony sounds rather painful. You thought crawl meta is mostly about which spells are good and which gods are good. Yeah, but as I mentioned, I do think that you can manage to get a win with whatever you want if you're at a high enough level. Does Phantasmal Warrior from Hunt inflict half willpower to enemies? It does. And raids also slow enemies. So it's funny thing that you mentioned that because I think I have Haunt. Maybe I could use that for Orbs of Fire. Mm, yeah, maybe I could use that for Orbs of Fire. Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound terrible. It's just that where am I going to get all that experience from to be able to cast it? I feel like I would need like maybe around 12 summonings because my intelligence is so high to be able to cast Haunt. It's just that I don't have enough experience for that. Mm, hmm. Maybe I could do a Ziggurat, as I mentioned, or at least some levels of a Ziggurat. Um, The zombie hands affect orbs of fire? It doesn't, and that is why this character will have issues with orbs of fire. If it did, it would be as simple as just zombie hands iron shot, like I've been doing to like half of the game. But unfortunately, that kind of thing doesn't work against orbs of fire. All right, so I guess we can do both five. I have not run out of game yet. Um, Okay, we can shaft ourselves into Bolts 5, so that's a very convenient thing to do. Some people don't like to do it. I love to shaft into Bolts 5. I think it's the best thing that you can do. I wonder what spell I should quiver. So quiver spells. These are my current spells. Hmm. What would be a good repeatable spell that I can use from any point in the screen? I feel like Toxic Radiance was that, but I kinda forgot about it. Swords now in Tron complete with maces and flails, so they're equally viable, but you think the most interesting melee meta has been if fighters take off shields and start or not in 0.27. They were switched to bucklers in Tron, so this is the best answer. Yeah, fortunately they were switched to bucklers. I've been an advocate for that for years. Um, It used to be that shields worked how they work now. I think that's what it was. So people literally took off the shield on turn one. Also, I think shields were literally worse in the sense that they blocked less. So people just like went for two-handed weapons, and that was the meta back then. And then at some point, shields actually got really good, and now the meta is to use a shield with every one of your characters. But shields then got nerfed, so it's not so much of a no-brainer to use a shield the moment you find it, and I like it. Do nets work on orbs of fire? They don't, for the same reason that zombie hands doesn't work. It would be kind of weird for an orb of fire to be trapped in a net when it's like literally made out of fire. It's kind of hard to trap that. Mm, if only they were corporeal, this character would not be in such a predicament. Um, they don't? You thought they did? We can try it when I get to an orb of fire, but I would be pretty sure that it doesn't. Um, they're tiny too. That makes trapping them harder. Yeah, they also have a million evasion. So like getting or hitting them with with that in the first place is pretty difficult. But yeah, orbs of fire are like really, really scary if you don't have a good way of dealing with them. And by the way, the fact that these guys are running towards me lets me know where I am. Like the stairs are in that direction, pretty much. So I'm very close to the center of the level. Better walk away a bit. Ooh, that bolt card just died to zombie hands. That's crazy. You once tried it, but got the message is too small to net? Huh. Well, now we know. Um, tiny. I guess tiny monsters can't be netted. Hmm. I would expect them to be larger. Hmm. They fit through the holes. If they fit through the holes, yeah, you're never gonna be able to net them. Okay, Noxious Bog. And now you are all death. Alright. today you learned. Yeah, I like the stream because not only do you learn from me and you get entertained by me, you also learn from other people who watch the stream, and that's pretty neat. It just like gives birth to a very comfortable community. Just a cycle of positive feedback. I like that. Oh, I see another mosquito. Maybe I'll be able to get rid of it later in the night. I will for sure try my best because mosquitoes get pretty aggravating. In Taos, cat sprite is larger than Jackal's. What kind of cat is it that it's larger than a dog? Yeah, that has to be one beast cat. Okay, the Tengu River is kind of hurting me, and I am not a fan of that. I guess zombie hands into Starburst. Into Starburst. Okay, you already survived two Starbursts somehow. I guess I'm gonna go for Iron Shot. Blocks the Iron Shot with a buckler. I can't believe this guy. Wow, I wish I was that good to block Iron Shots with a buckler. Um, okay, we can continue doing this. This is not really an issue for my character. In fact, I think I can just ignition. What's my ignition button? It is capital I, as it normally is. All right. I just wanted to check because I have been placing spells in unusual keys. Yes. So maybe ignition wouldn't be in the key where I would expect it to be. You're reminded of the first time you went into Bolt 5 and you didn't understand its layout. You were a Kazlal worshipper. I assume that you died almost instantly because that's kind of what happens to a Kazlal worshipper if it goes in here. Yeah, if you don't know, Bolt 5 will murder you. Like actually, you're gonna die, and there's not much that you can do about it either. Crawl is a fun game. However, if you know, then Bolt 5 is still really dangerous, but it is much more survivable. Also, I'm not a fan of the current situation. I don't feel like I have enough mana. Ignition. Ignition is extremely mana effective because like two casts left me at the same amount of mana thanks to Behemoth, and it also happened to kill everything that I had on the screen. There was a lot of panic telescrolls, which obviously didn't help because you ended up just kiting the entire level. Yep, just castle things. Disaster area. Disaster area is not that good. In my opinion, I just wish Castle was better. I think of Castle as a god that doesn't compensate for the incredible downside that is like being so noisy. And this is a player that doesn't particularly care about stealth. How aggravating to monsters do you have to be for a player like me to think of it as a serious issue and a serious downside to the god? In addition to that, also upheaval and disaster area, I think they are expensive and I don't think they are so powerful. I think disaster area should be more like apocalypse. Castle was fun, but you really hadn't accounted for how impactful being constantly loud was. It is pretty bad indeed. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then maybe Iron Shot on the Warden. It doesn't have a shield. Goodbye. Yeah, of course you're gonna die from that. If you don't have a shield, I have 9 dice of 11 for you. That's a lot of damage, actually. 9 dice of 11. 99 maximum damage in a single shot. I don't think we have gotten it yet, but it can happen. Like I have gotten 4 exclamation points. In fact, maybe I have gotten it and I just don't know because of how player damage is displayed. You don't get like a specific number. You only get like an approximate, and I think that's fine. You think Castle like Che is a speedrunner's god? Castle like Che is a speedrunner's god. I assume that you mentioned that because it makes you gain more experience in less amount of turns. In that sense, I guess it does make sense that Castle could be a speedrunner god. But I don't know. Castle, I feel like is too much of a downside, even more than Chebriados, because after a certain point with Chebriados, you're gonna be like crazy powerful enough that you're not gonna care, that you actually don't care about being giga slow because you can just not move in the middle of a fight and you're almost guaranteed to win a fight because you're that powerful. With Castle, you don't get to that point ever. Castle doesn't get to that point, like, period. And that makes Castle not desirable for me. Mm. I have won Castle in the past, but yeah, it's not a god that I would be like, oh yeah, I want to go Castle. Castle is the god for this character on any character. Like, that's how I think of Castle. Castle is fast. Next character you should go melee heal orc of Castle and just summon elementals whenever you're in trouble. It's pretty good. I'll think about that. Yeah, it's just that whenever I am a heal orc, there's just better options. If I'm a heal orc, I could be. Oh, that's enough fire magic. If I'm a heal orc, I could be a Beowulf worshipper, and then instead of having to use piety on summoning allies, I can just use recall and get allies immediately. But yeah, and I guess I can like mention other gods that can exploit the heal orc's incredible invocations aptitude, like Nemelex. I love Nemelex. Nemelex is so powerful. Um, so yeah, I wish Castle was more competitive with other gods. You need to pick up your Che Octopode again. You were aiming for 15 runes, but you've been too scared. I don't think I've ever even considered going for 15 runes with neither an Octopode nor Che. Yeah, I think not being able, or maybe I did do a 15 runer with Che. Let's find out. Last game, Che and rune equals 15. Okay, not with the main account. Settler, Che, and rune equals 15. Nope, neither with the main account nor this one. I have done 15 runes with Che, which is funny because I kinda remember trying something like that. Maybe I ended up dying to Che destroying you if you try to move. But I don't really remember. Hmm. But yeah, anyway, I think the reason why I haven't even attempted it is because I think the downside of not being able to move at all is like pretty bad. Especially for extended. For a 3 rune, you can kinda be okay because there's rarely monsters that can kill you in 2 turns unless you immediately reposition. And in extended, those monsters are so plentiful. Like the combination of a Tormentor or a Hellion with literally anything else can kill you in like 2 or 3 turns unless you play accordingly. And Che kinda makes it complicated for you to play accordingly. What's my soft clock? Just out of curiosity, because I've been resting for mana a lot, which is normally what makes Railbird run out of soft clock. You mean 43 armor class, 48 evasion, 37 shield lets you tank basically everything except torment. I am assuming those are statue form stats on your octopode. And to that, I have to say that you're permanently slow, and therefore you cannot really tank a Hellion. A Hellion can very quickly melt your character like super fast, as I mentioned, in like 2 or 3 turns. So normally what you would do to that would be repositioning, but in addition to being in statue form, you're also with Che. Like normally statue form in extended, I like it, but I don't like it for just walking around and being an extended character, just like all happy, because you're gonna stumble into something really crazy that's gonna melt you. Um, but with Che, it's even worse. With Che, it's like you typo into moving and you're gonna die. Statue plus Che is really painful. I think for a normal character, that makes your movement take like 3 turns or something. I don't know, but it's like really slow. Like absurdly slow. Okay, we like these kinds of shops. Gonna buy that and buy this and this. And maybe this because I don't have it for ghost mods. Oh, I have two, but okay. Annihilator. We can use Fireball against the Annihilator. It deals so much damage. Not enough for a one shot, but pretty close. Yep, walked downstairs into depth and got hit by like 6 LRDs. Ouch, those hurt. It's pretty nice that you didn't die. I would have died there. Yeah, with my luck, I would have died there. Okay, I want fog. Yeah, fogu. Okay, more shops, including a bookshop. Maybe we still have a chance to find Orb of Destruction, which would be funny because I'm already at 7 summonings. I feel like if I could learn Haunt, I could just like use it already. Ignition. Aha, Ignition again. That seems to me like maybe Saint Roca by Sushen at least. Uh, I was wondering if Saint Roca was around because those were low level orcs. So, Bicross, what's your online account name? Do you even play online, Bicross? I actually have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen any dumps. No, who knows? Maybe you do and I just don't remember. Bicross0723. I see. Oh, same name. Okay, that's very convenient. I like it when people share nicks because it's easier for me to identify them. Like if you have the same nick or alias on the Discord and on the chat and in game, it's just like so much better. Okay, we get rid of that Afflate Ghost. Now we are at low mana, but I did make sure to put on mana regen precisely for these kinds of situations. Okay. I find it pretty funny that the Etin just straight up didn't break the door there. I was able to do the door strategy for a short period of time, but now I think I will abstain from doing that. Okay. Book of the Spheres. Well, that is exactly what I wanted. Give me my Orb of Destruction. Now, I need to forget some things. I think I'm just not gonna care and turn on spellcasting or something. You can click on each game to get the dump. Mm, If you want like your current character dump, you just press pound. I guess let me show you here. You just press that, and it will give you the dump. In fact, like I can do it right now, and it immediately generates it on web tiles for me. Yeah, very convenient thing for sure. Okay. Yep. I think I missed twice with that iron shot. That's why I don't like it that much normally. But if you couple it with zombie hands, it's so good. Um, okay. Yeah, I have to start thinking about what spells I actually want to forget about. Maybe Fireball. Like I learned Fireball because I didn't really have anything else to do with the spells levels. But now I have Haunt, and I only need 5 because I think I have 2 spell levels. I have 1. Okay, so I would have to forget about Fireball and maybe Foxfire. Oh, I would forget about Scorch. Okay, Amnesia. I have 2 Amnesia, enough for me to do exactly that. Alright, good Amulets. Yeah, good Amulet. I don't think I want to use it, but pretty good Amulet regardless. Poison resistance and regen on your Amulet slot is pretty fantastic. My cloak is +0 for intelligence. I could replace it for this embroidered cloak, but it can be willpower, and I don't care about that. It can be poison resistance, and I don't care about that. And if it's anything other than that, I don't care about it. So I don't think I want to. I think I'm gonna take the 4 intelligence instead of the potential good cloak, just because this character like actually doesn't care about it, even if it was the best thing possible. Okay. Merfolk. Shapeshifter, of course, because um, it would be very weird for a soul merfolk to be here. But weirder things have happened in this playthrough already. I mean, we have seen slimes in 2 different levels. I thought that they were probably like a monster that got placed in a vault, all those slimes. But no, maybe, or rather, I should say, it's kind of looking like it's a normal spawn here now, and or not here in depths, and that's a pretty interesting thing. I don't disagree with it. I think it's very spicy that now such a dangerous enemy that you don't really get to see that much spawns in that part of the game. I like it. I like it. I wonder what other monsters could spawn in depths that, other than their branch, don't really spawn that much. I was thinking maybe Iron Giants as like Iron Giants as counterparts to Juggernauts. Like the Juggernaut is really fast, and the Iron Giant, I don't think it's as slow, but let's find out. It is not slow, but yeah, it's like really dangerous in a similar way to the Juggernaut. Maybe slightly more dangerous than the Juggernaut because it is poison resistant and it does have harpoon shot, so it's really hard to run away from. Demon Blade. We have not found a Demon Blade. At this point, it's getting pretty ridiculous that we have not found a Demon Blade yet. At least I did get a million experience to be able to learn Haunt. What is it? Have I learned it yet? I have not. Hold on. Haunt. Ah, there it is, 12%. And I can use that to kill Orbs of Fire, because that spell murders Orbs of Fire. It's funny how summonings just like ruin Orbs of Fire. Eldritch Tentacle ruins Orbs of Fire, Dragon Skull ruins Orbs of Fire, Haunt also ruins Orbs of Fire. I'm not sure about Summon Horrible Things. Maybe Summon Horrible Things doesn't ruin Orbs of Fire because it's almost like 3 or 4 large abominations and tentacled monstrosities, but those kind of don't have the greatest matchup against Orbs of Fire. Maybe the tentacle monstrosities do, but those are kind of rare. Quicken and out in pan till we get a Demon Blade. We could do that. Like, you joke, but I could legit do that with this character. Despite the fact that it doesn't really have level 9 spells, I could do that and I could be like, okay. But I think it's more likely for me to go into Pandemonium or to go into Ziggurat. We have Ignition, and the only floor that we would really have issues with, funnily enough, would be a far floor with Orbs of Fire. But leaving aside that specific floor, Ignition kills almost everything. Normally, you want to have Ignition and Refrigeration to be able to kill monsters that are immune to fire or immune to cold. But I don't have that kind of experience with this character. Okay, let's go find Amnesia. It is very rare for me to use all the Amnesia that I have available in a single game. But here we are. Okay, I want to forget about Scorch. It was good while it lasted. In fact, it had way more shelf life than Flame Wave. Pretty much the moment I needed spell slots, I forgot about Flame Wave. I think maybe it was over nerfed. Because when the level 2 spell lasts for longer than the level 4 spell, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's something weird going on there. Okay. So let's also forget about, yeah, Fireball. Fireball we can forget. We can relearn it later if we really need to. It's very likely that I won't have to, but now we can learn Haunt. Okay, Haunt can be in H, of course, because Haunt. It could also be in capital W for rates. That's the glyph that they have on console, so it could be capital W, but I can have it on H. So yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna even bother about the Demon Blade. I'm just gonna go ahead and go into Sot. Now that I have Haunt, like I was postponing Sot to get a spell that helped me kill Orbs of Fire, but now I have it, so yeah. That's the real thing that I needed. I don't need any more loot to be able to win the game. Okay, I don't shot. 75? From that? 75? That is a lot of damage. It doesn't even deal 75. But I guess the draining, I guess the way it works is that first I get drained and then I take the damage. That's probably how it works. Otherwise, how would I take 75 from that? But anyway, rather unlucky. We can deal with it regardless. Don't do that anymore. Okay, that guy went crazy with the breath of negative energy. We only got hit twice, but it was for so much damage. And we still have to deal with a Quicksilver Dragon at 100 HP. Not particularly the best of situations for my character. Maybe Haunt would be a good thing to use right now. That's fine. It is slow, as you can see. And I can zombie hands here to make it so that not only is it slow, but it also cannot dodge my iron shots. And there we go. Okay, and that's the power of Haunt. Haunt secretly is a spell that you use to hex things that are immune to hexes. Also, I guess a spell that you use to kill things in general. It definitely fulfills that role quite well. Must have been a max damage hit, close to max damage. My guess is that I got drained really hard and then I took the damage, and it wasn't really that much damage, but because I got drained first, I ended up losing more HP than you would think. Rule levels of draining, ouch! I didn't even notice how much I got drained. But yeah, if I had been drained for 75, then that would have been literally rule levels of drain. Um, Funny enough, that's not the reason why I don't like Rue. But yeah, this is just to showcase the power of Haunt. That was literally a single cast of Haunt, and it killed the tentacle monstrosity from full HP. Summonings in general are like very incredibly mana efficient, among the most mana efficient spells in the entirety of the game. Um, yeah, Haunt is great. That's the only way to put it. Haunt is a spell that will win you the game, literally win you the game, if you support it and you train for it. And so I'm hoping that it does win the game for me. Let's see, Haunt 11%. Let's maybe use Haunt against that purple Draconian Shifter. Okay. Really summon allies while emitting a noxious bug. Ah, yes, sure, who cares? These guys are immune to that. Oh, I miscast it. Unfortunate. I miscast it twice. Well, that is worrisome. Now I'm close to being out of mana and still in a fight. Yeah, I'm not liking that. Maybe mana? I have 4. Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? Okay, grab the shifter. Starburst. Starburst again. That killed the two of them. Sweet. I was not expecting to kill the red draconian with that, but I guess I deal way too much damage. Also, next time I see a red draconian, I need to like show you the disparity. 3 dice of 28 cold breath, right? 3 dice of 20 irresistible quicksilver bolt. And just wait until you see the red draconian. For some reason, fire magic or fire enemies, fire damage in general, always gets like the short end of the stick and ends up being so trash. I wonder if that's like a reaction from because the meta back then was, oh yeah, you can do SOT without cold resistance because cold resistance is like a joke, and there's orbs of fire. Yeah, those are like the real threat. And maybe that's why cold damage is so crazy nowadays compared to fire damage. Mm. Why use a Starburst when you have Ignite? Because I had them on the queue, but it was more than that. It was like literally force of habit of having gone through pretty much the entirety of the playthrough with Starburst. Also, if you have monsters in a queue, it's literally better to use a Starburst. But if you have them like this, it's better to use Ignition. Like, for example, the one in the middle literally gets hit by 4 fireballs. There's this one, oh, sorry, there's this one that gets hit by only 2 fireballs, but these two get hit by 3, so I'm just gonna go for Ignition here. Didn't kill anything, surprisingly. Alright. That went pretty well, yeah. Easy peasy. We have Dispel Undeath for you, because Death Cops are undeath, and you can dispel them. Alright. Oh, I killed the Red Draconian. before checking. Well, I guess we can check a Scorcher. 3 dice of 21. So compare that with a 3 dice of 28 of a White Draconian. And I guess, sure, the Red Draconian leaves a cloud, but the cloud is a joke. Like, really, it is a joke. On Deathcorn. It is on Deathcorn. Mm, okay. I am pretty good with this character. I am greatly enjoying it. And yes, I suspected the yellow draconians are the ones that are annihilators. It only feels flavorful for yellow draconians to be annihilators because they have so much damage from the acid. In addition to, the great spells from the annihilator. Death Cough Pozole. I don't think that would be very tasty. Yeah. The other day I had pozole. It's a very cost-efficient food, so we've been having it a lot lately. And I guess it's pretty good because not only is it very cost-efficient, it's also really good and delicious. I would recommend you all to give it a try if you haven't already. Mm, so yeah, it always gets better if you let it rest for a day or two. I like it a lot. We are going to paralyze this Red Draconian. Yeah, we're gonna paralyze this Red Draconian. There we go. On Death Pozole, Slime Team Crypt Bolt. Plus 2 Cloak. But no, I think I like my 4 Intelligence. More than 2 Armor class, I like my 2 Intelligence. Ooh. Well, let's see where we land. Okay, we could have landed in such a bad spot. Like, shafts in Sot are so scary because the bolts in Sot are also so scary. But fortunately, we landed in a pretty tame spot. Sure, we have to take a fight, but we are pretty much at full resources. It's not really an issue. Let's charm the Death Cough. 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 Okay, it took me 5 attempts. And it immediately became uncharmed because it got hit by the spell. Alright. This arena supports me casting Noxious Bog, and it just murders the Draconians. So I'm not really too worried about the Draconians. Maybe I'm worried about the Annihilators. Those guys are a bit of an issue. Um, what I'm most worried about is the Death Cough slowing me. That would be like a severe issue. I wanted to have it as an ally so that it would A, kill the Moth of Wrath and then start slowing these guys, but unfortunately it just was not meant to be. We used Charm 5 times, it failed 4 times, and the 5th time it immediately got dispelled. So yeah, that was kind of whack. Noxious Bog. Aha. Did I get hit by Quicksilver? It missed me. Okay. Alright. Irradiate. Okay. I'm still not slow, so that's pretty good. Extremely poisoned, extremely poisoned. I think I'm gonna go for... I want to go for Ignite Poison, but I want to get these guys as well. I think I'm just gonna go for Irradiate instead. Ooh, we go for 2 Irradiates in a row. The Death Cup doesn't die. I'm just gonna... Okay, I'm gonna go for a 3rd Irradiate, because now it would hit also the Draconians. So more mana efficiency. Wow, it's not dead? Oh, and I typo into meleeing it, and it dies. So that's pretty funny. Um, Ignite Poison, that gets rid of most of those guys, and to finish them off, Ignition. Alright, it didn't quite get rid of everything. I guess we can go for another Ignition. Oh, it is not dead. Okay, I'm starting to wonder what's up with the damage. It's not, it definitely didn't go in my favor during that fight. Okay. I should use this spell on dead against those dead cops because I mean I have it after all and I have it at pretty good spell power, so might as well take advantage of it. Um, You know, I've liked this character so far. It's given me tools to do things that I don't normally do with my characters, like doing crypt. The fact that I got this spell on death made crypt so easy. Like it was free pretty much. I just had to quiver it, and it was just like an experience piñata. You've played with some ignition in a recent game and you were unimpressed. It didn't seem to hit nearly as hard as you expect. Um, yes, it is not a spell that you can just cast like refrigeration. With ignition, you have to maneuver monsters into being close together. For example, this annihilator would be hit by 4 explosions, but the draconian surrounding it would only be hit by 1 explosion. So what the correct thing to do here is to walk here, for example. Oof, excuse me. Well, that is unfortunate. Um, I wanted to make it so that they were grouped up so they could take more explosions, but instead of that, I took 77 damage. Sure, whatever. Better when clustered, poor when spread out. Yeah, it is at the end of the day a positional magic spell, so it will be what it is. I think yeah, ignite poison kills the yellow draconian. Also, quite probably kills a shifter as well. And the red draconian, I think it's also gonna die from just doing ignite poison. Yeah, it gets rid of those guys, and now we have all the HP that we need for dealing with this shifter. Um, Zombie hands, iron shot. Goodbye. That got pretty spicy. I took a lot of damage. I guess that's the thing that happens with low defenses characters. This character doesn't really have abysmal defenses, but yeah, when things get past your shield and your armor class and your evasion, they will deal a lot of damage. Mm, and that Crystal Spear definitely did exactly that. How many magic mappings do we have? 7. I guess we can use one right now, especially considering that I got shafted. It's just that I don't really use them that much the more powerful my character is because I don't feel the need to use them. So I just kind of forget about it. But if you really feel like you have to use them, then by all means, definitely do use them in these levels because these are literally the final levels of the game. Like, what else would you use them on? um, you didn't realize that the explosions stacked? You always thought it behaved more like an explosion condenser bane? Oh no, if it did that, it wouldn't be level 8. It would be level 7 or maybe level 6. Yeah, I think after level 5 is when spells start to get really mana efficient. You have lost so many characters to shafting, it's like a reflex now to immediately read magic mapping after getting shafted. The earlier in the game, the more important it is to do exactly that. And funnily enough, the less likely it is for you to be able to do it. But yeah, this character doesn't really need to do that because it's very powerful. As long as I don't land it like a truly messed up situation, we can just like run around and kill everything like normal. It's like getting hit by a teleport trap more than getting hit by dispersal or by a shaft. I mean. But anyway, we know that in SOT there's only one shaft that can generate because that's how it works in 0.28. So for that I am very grateful. Yes. Okay. Are you extremely poisoned? You are. Mm, Ignite poison. Sure, that got rid of the shifter. That's pretty good. Tin of Tremor Stones. I haven't used that in a while. Pretty bad explosions from Tin of Tremor Stones. Also, it kind of seemed like it didn't hit these guys, but yeah. Engulfs you but does no damage. Okay, yeah, it didn't really deal that much damage to me. Mm, Mostly in Lair and Self-Learn Room Floor 4. Yeah, there's some levels that no matter how powerful you are, you are like always scared to get shafted. And the entirety of SOT is that. I could have gotten shafted into a super sketchy situation, and I just got lucky that it was like whatever, right? Like just a normal SOT fight. It wasn't even like a hard one. I guess I can amnesia something. Hmm, what could I amnesia? Maybe LRD. Yeah, sure. Let's amnesia LRD. Now I need one more spell level to be able to learn Orb of Destruction. So I'm gonna get that. So yeah, I kind of lost interest in keeping all my skills under 15 when I accidentally overtrained armor. Yeah, at that point I was like, yeah, whatever. Silence. Well, this is not the character to use silence. This is literally like a pure spellcaster. If I was to silence, I would pretty much be quitting the game pretty much because I wouldn't survive getting silence in this stage of the game. Um, Funny thing about that, we have to be wary around the killer clowns. I haven't really mentioned them at all in this playthrough, but killer clowns are dangerous to my character, not only because of the things that killer clowns are dangerous for against any character, which is turning you into a bat or a pig or a tree, but also the pie that silences you is like so bad on this character. It's like, oh, you can't fight anymore, and you cannot even run away easily. Are you gonna play another combo tonight if you win soon? I will. That was the idea. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to go for a Jredelemnul character because I think it's already in trunk. In fact, I think I can probably find out. Goth Jredelemnul. Hmm. Okay. No, that's all Jredelemnul. Okay, I don't think it's in trunk. Yeah, it is definitely not in trunk. Um, okay, yeah, it's not in trunk. So in that case, we're just gonna have to wait until that is in trunk. I was kind of excited for it, but yeah, I don't want to play in the experimental server for that. New Altar Sprite though looks cool. I've heard so, but I live in console land where there's no sprites. All altars look the same except that they have like different colors. Some of them shimmer in like a different pattern. Pretty cool. I like it a lot, personally. But I guess it's pretty nice to get like a new tile for the tiles players. That is, new altar sprite so good you can finally stop confusing it with Dith. I heard that. I guess they were too similar before. Okay, zombie hands. Two ghost mods. Well, after going through the first level of Sod without seeing any, I guess it was only the first two levels without seeing any. I guess it was only a matter of time. I am going to drink invisibility because I have that, and as I always say, might as well just use it. Okay, that is perfect. We're gonna go for Starburst. It misses one of them, and the other one is severely wounded. Okay. Yeah, we just ended up going for melee. Why not? I have zero skill in the longsword, by the way. Zero long blades. I could get it, but I don't think I care too much. Ghost mods are the bane of every spellcaster you've played. They are bad, really bad. In fact, ghost mods are like a primary reason for me to always advocate for having melee or a way to kill things without using mana on your spellcaster. I guess this guy has evocations at least. But yeah, I could easily just get enough long blades skill to be able to use the longsword properly, and use a ring of slaying because I have some pretty juicy rings of slaying on the floor. But that would be like a different character. At that point, I would probably be tabbing a lot, and therefore I would like to have like better defenses, and then I would have to wear heavy armor or heavier armor than I'm currently wearing, and I would lose a lot of intelligence and yada yada. What's my take on infestation? It is high level necromancy, so I don't get to use it a lot. Um, I don't like it that much because to me it's a spell that costs 8 mana and it does nothing when you cast it. I wish it dealt a little bit of damage at the very least. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like a very emblematic spell of the Necromancy school. A spell that literally does nothing, but as the fight progresses, it like gets stronger and stronger until it's like really crazy. So if you only have Necromancy and you cannot kill something, infestation is really gonna be like literally useless. But it snowballs if you can kill things. Like as long as you can kill like one or two things, then the death scarabs are gonna start killing everything for you. 18 viewers, the whole DCSS community showing up. Yeah, it kind of is like that. Thank you all for watching, I guess. I hope that you have enjoyed what you have seen so far. Mm, yeah, we're still like far away from partner. For partner, I need to have an average of 75, and I wouldn't even like apply until I had like an average of 90 or something, because I've heard horror stories of people that have an average of 100 and just like straight up getting rejected. Yeah, that's what I have heard, that whenever you have or whenever you're closing in on partner numbers, you shouldn't get so excited for that, because it's very likely that you're gonna get rejected. So yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. I just think that it would be nice eventually, but we're not close to that anyway. But yeah, maybe in the future, if Crawl becomes popular, I should bribe a big streamer to play it if I could. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure those guys make more in a single stream than I have made on Twitch in the 2 years that I have been streaming. A funny thing. But anyway, what do we want to train with this character now? Hmm. Maybe more summonings, so I can cast Haunt better. My Haunt is at 5%. And yeah, the key for Ignition is really to group these guys up. Like, for example, this is kind of not the best positioning for me to use Starburst, but it's amazing for Ignition. This guy gets hit by 5 explosions, 4 explosions, 4 explosions, 4 explosions, 3 explosions. So very likely everyone except for these red draconians are gonna die here. Okay. Yeah, it didn't quite happen, but we came pretty close to killing everyone, so I can just run and irradiate them until they die. Mm, okay. Zombie hands. Iron shot, and there we go. Yeah, zombie hands is not a spell that I get very often, but it is so good. I did say that I wanted to forget about LRD. Oh, I did do that, and then I trained to get Orb of Destruction. Yeah, I'm not gonna use it a lot, but it's gonna be important for Orbs of Fire. I can see myself going for Orb of Destruction into Haunt, or maybe Haunt into Orb of Destruction, and like getting rid of Orbs of Fire like that. Mm, okay, let's give it a test run. Yeah, I have the skill to cast it. 1%. 9 dice of 17. That is so much damage. Um, so we have a Lich, and yeah, I literally deal Lich levels of damage with Orb of Destruction. Oh man, that's pretty funny. I should get Necro Mutation. Yeah. The Mummy playthrough that I had recently has made me like value a bit more Mummy form. Yeah, it gives you all the downsides and upsides of being a mummy. And let me tell you that the upsides of being a mummy were kind of noticeable for that character. Like, I definitely enjoyed being able to take my sweet time against, say, Orbs of Fire, or like not have to be afraid of Nekosek or other annoying monsters that can malmutate you, and just like take the 1 stat loss that you're gonna regain anyway after like 1 or 2 fights. Um, Ouch. That is not good. Not ideal by any means. What I'm gonna do here is just go for the file floats on the Annihilator to prevent it from doing that again. Now that that has been done, maybe Noxious Bog. Yeah, this guy is extremely poisoned because Noxious Bog is so powerful that a single turn on it will leave you extremely poisoned. I got tormented. Okay, that's pretty good actually. I think now I can just go for Ignition. Ignition here kills maybe the 2 of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Ooh, you miscast Ignition. Fortunately, this guy is Warlock, so it's not gonna cast any spells. If it did cast spells, it would be so scary. And I have resistance to corrosion. That's why I'm not worried about the Acid Splash, which both of these guys can still do. Let's do it again. Okay, we get rid of the Annihilator. Sweet. Okay, pretty underwhelming explosion on the yellow draconian. Iron shot, iron shot. The curse though, I wish I was not so low on HP. Hmm. Acid? I feel like I kind of want to save acid for Orbs of Fire. It is a pretty valuable resource. Maybe heal wounds. Yeah, I don't wanna quite do heal wounds because the curse though can torment me again like the next turn, and then like that's your heal wounds, right? It wouldn't really do a lot. Also, there's like Black Draconian. At least it's not a spellcaster Draconian, so we can kind of deal with it. But the curse though can get pretty annoying. I need it to be close to me. Maybe attraction. I'm gonna do attraction. Yeah, and now we can dispel undead it. And easy as that. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That's pretty bad, actually. Um, hmm. Yeah, we're in a pretty bad spot actually that I got myself into. If I hadn't used attraction, or rather, after using attraction, I should have just like tried to leave instead of walking towards. But I thought like maybe if it's only the Black Draconian, I would be able to kill it easily. But very clearly, it was not only that. The knight is actually like bad because I have bad cold resistance. I have one pip, so it's not so terrible, but it still hurts a ton. Um, and I cannot silence it anymore with File of Thoughts. Obviously, I cannot use a Scroll of Silence. I cannot use a Scroll of Fear. What I can do is try to charm it. 59% chance to get charmed. Hmm. Did these guys get their magic resistance nerfed, their willpower nerfed? Maybe. I don't know if I want to do this so much. Are you using a polearm? You are. Okay. So when you get into this kind of like tricky situation, you really need to think about how you could die. Like what kind of things need to happen in order for you to die, and like you need to evaluate if it's worth it or not to go for that kind of dangerous thing. And in this situation, it's like the Draconian Knight shoots Throw Icicle at me and hits me for a ton of damage, and then the Black Draconian hits me with the Glaive, and that's it. And that kills me, and that's very likely. So I don't think I want to do that right now. Heading out for the evening, good luck. Same goes to you. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a nice day tomorrow, I guess. Mm, so I also am attracting, so I cannot fear them. Well, I guess I can fear them, and in fact, because they don't have that much willpower, I can fear them very easily. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the fear. So I think that will fear them, and they will still be attracted to me, but they are just not hostile. I don't know if this will work, but I will try to run out or run away. Maybe haste as well. Ooh. Hmm. It shot lightning at me. It shot lightning at me, and it's still fleeing. That is interesting. Why did that happen? That doesn't feel like something that should happen. Oh, look at that. It's no longer afraid. It immediately became unafraid. Huh, funny thing. Well, heal wounds? Yeah, I feel like if I had like 120 HP or so, this would be like a much simpler situation. Hmm. I'm using the heal wounds because it doesn't really matter. Like this late in the game, those are kind of like more for good luck than anything. As I always mention. Okay, yeah, there we go. Using fear there was absolutely the right move. I wonder how likely they are to resist it with only one pip of willpower. Hey, Kilroy, good to see you around. Let's take a look at that emote. PJP Jam. I see. I hope that I get my emotes soon, my animated emotes. I recently found out that that I will have 5 animated emote slots. I already have 2 that I know that I want to have, um, And Shaper, if you're still around, I don't think I want to use the Korean emotes as animated emotes on Twitch because those are like paid, right? So so I don't know if I want to have them like that and just like profit of someone else's work. But I will have it as better TTB emotes. They're not paid. No, but what I mean is that if I was to put them as animated emotes, you would have to pay to use them. So I would be profiting off of something that's meant to be free. So the ethical way to use it would be to put them as better Twitch TV emotes. So I'm going to do exactly that. Like I'm gonna add them as better Twitch TV emotes, but I'm not gonna add them as like animated emotes. Unfollow and soft close tab in no animated CP emote. What about a non-animated CP emote, which I already have, by the way? Take a look at that. Yeah, so there you go. That's your animated zip emote. Let's go for ignition. Ignition kills some good things. Um, Irradiates. Sweet. SP many Siggy, so many Siggy. Yeah, the perks of like owning your channel. If you were like a moderator, you could also do that on any channel. Of course, on some channels, you would probably stop being a moderator if you did that. Um, but yeah, this is my channel. I can do whatever I want, and so I choose to spam Sigmunds. All right, I guess we're gonna train some transmutations. Yeah, sure, for more irradiate damage. Irradiate is good. Okie dokie. That went pretty well. Yeah. Realize on CP emote is scary. That's also what I thought when I got the emote in the first place. But I feel like I've grown to like it. Like, yeah, I was briefly considering asking for a revision of the emote, but now I don't care. I feel like it really is a part of the personality of the emote. Also, it's supposed to be like a crawl character that has red eyes, but it should just be the pupil, as Shaper says. That is the reason why I was thinking about asking for a revision, but I don't care too much. Berserk Storm Dragon. Okay, so whenever you are fighting one of these guys, while Berserk, of course, it is always a good thing to remember that it is not poison resistant, and so you can try to cure it, and so you can try to cure it, and there you go. Okay, now it is slow, so exponentially less dangerous. Still pretty dangerous and still faster than you, because Storm Dragons normally are already faster than you, so Berserk Storm Dragons are much faster than you, but like that greatly reduces the amount of danger that they immediately pose to your character, which, by the way, is a lot. So yeah, maybe don't fight Berserk Storm Dragons in fair terms. Do as much as you can to not fight them in a fair fight. Mm, okay, I'm running low on mana. Um, Ignition doesn't feel so good here because yeah. Okay, maybe it does feel good. It gets rid of the green draconian, but I think the green draconian is like the thing that I care about the least. Maybe Condenser Bane. Ooh, we got Acid. Okay, we just won this fight. Acid is literally like the best cloud that you can get here, but because pretty much nothing resists Acid. Funny thing, though, in SOT there's a monster that resists Acid, and that's Yellow Draconians and Yellow Draconian Annihilators. Um, but yeah, we were not fighting any of those guys in that fight, so yeah. Anyway, um, pretty good indeed. Okay, another Berserk Storm Dragon. I feel like I have to cure it again. Zombie Hands, walk away. Iron Shot, Iron Shot. Ooh, Iron Shot. It missed. Irradiate because I don't want it to miss. Zombie Hands. Last time I tried to use Zombie Hands on a Ghost mod, it failed. Interesting. Hmm. I wonder what made it fail last time. Um, 5 mana. What spell do I have that costs 5 mana? Nothing really. Well, I guess Zombie Hands, but it's already in use. Ignite Poison. Dispel Undeath. Nope. I don't have low level spells with this character. I guess we're just gonna go for Lightning Rod. And yeah, easy peasy. I could have also used a potion of invisibility, but I'd rather save them for when I really need them. And fighting a single ghost moth with no support in SOT, like it's not what I would define as needing it. And also, I want to save them for when I need them because I don't have much. I don't have much in the way of those potions. I think I have like three. Oh, I have two. Yeah, not that many. Tell me, how do you make a lightning rod feel strong? You never take it. Well, you may not know about this, and I am assuming that you probably don't. But it says that the strength of the blast increases with evocation's skill, but that's not what I mean. Consecutive evocations cause the discharge to be sustained, which increases the power level. So it deals more damage if you use it consecutively, um, like Flame Wave and Searing Ray, kinda, except that in evocable form. So the way to use it is to literally use all the 4 charges in one go. That will make the damage scale. Also, like try to keep the blast concentrated because like after you use it the first time, you can like spread it around and like hit a bunch of tiles. But the more damage you hit or the more tiles you hit, the least damage it's going to deal. So just like keep it in a single line if possible. And it will deal more damage, much more damage. Like you just saw that with 12 evocations, it was dealing pretty decent damage. Also, like maybe don't rely on it unless you really have to. Fortunately, this character doesn't have to use its experience evocables that much, but I keep them as a nice like backup plan. Please get charmed, thank you. Okay, for this one I'm gonna go for Dispel on Death. Now Dispel on Death. Dispel on Death. Perfect. Ooh, no, no, not perfect. That's pretty bad. That's seriously bad, actually. I'm thinking about using a Potion of Attraction again. Sure. Spellcaster using Potion of Attraction to cast the spell on death. Pretty neat. I wish I didn't have to use it though. I wish this spell on death was a ranged spell. And I really don't understand why it's not a ranged spell, to be completely honest. But I guess I just have to adapt. That's a lot of Draconians. Okay, none of them fly, however. No, I think the black ones fly. The rest of them don't. Yeah. Okay, so black draconians and green draconians are kind of annoying. Also, red draconians somewhat because they are resistant to fire, so they don't really explode after you use ignite poison. After like having them swim on toxic bog for a while. Ooh, that's a lot of death cops. Mm, Gotta try to charm them. Yes, I don't care about that. I would like it to attack something. Would be neat if it did attack something. Okay, that went pretty well. Damnation, zombie hands, and it just got killed by the death cough. Very convenient. So allies are not like summons. They will just like keep fighting out of your line of sight. Um, so whenever you charm a monster, you can just walk away and the monster will do its thing. Ouch. 63 now. Yeah, something it makes me think that these guys drain you and then you take the damage. That makes them deal way more damage than you think. I wonder if there's like a new change or something, because I don't think I have experienced Shadow Dragons being that dangerous before. It may also have something to do with the fact that with this character right now I have no resistance to negative. Yeah, that may have something to do. Um, Okay, Haunt. Haunt again. Haunt a third time. How many Haunt monsters can I have? 8. Okay, that's a lot of monsters. Yeah, Haunt is a really powerful spell. Even after all the recent nerfs, I still think of it as a really fantastic spell. Restricted by targets. Mm, yeah, Haunt. Yeah, you have to target something. And you cannot spam it on a single target because then when that target dies, all your Haunt allies just disappear. I assume that I cannot Mind Burst the Death Cough. Oh, you can. Well, in that case, don't mind if I do. Irradiate. Okay. A lot of Soul Eaters here. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of starting to get scared of so much negative energy damage. So let's put on the Ring of Resistance to Negatives, and now we are fine. Yeah, we're literally fine. I wonder if it's better for me to just have that instead of the Ring of the Hair. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it around. Yeah. I'm just wondering because I've been taking like in some of the situations where I have been in like trouble here, it's been related to things that would be reduced by negative energy, like the Shadow Dragon Breath or these Soul Eaters or Tormentors. You don't know why you don't like humans because they're too mundane. Humans are like the epitome of boredom. They are kind of difficult, I guess, in a way because they don't have anything special. Like, for example, ogres may have like worse aptitudes than humans do, but they have amazing HP and amazing fighting. So even if it would take longer for me to like get these kinds of skills as an ogre, I would have way more HP and I would be able to throw rocks as well. And you can say the same for pretty much any other species in the game. So it is understandable to not like humans in a game that has like minotaurs and orcs and ogres and like even octopods and cats. Like if you want to kind of torture yourself, you can play those. Um, so yeah. Also, I guess as people always say, you roleplay as a human all the time in real life. Might as well try something else every now and then. Ooh, I'm not a fan of that death break because of that. I don't have blinking, so now I'm pretty much perma-slow. I guess I could read blinking. I don't have blink the spell. Yeah, I don't think I ever found it. It's so rare nowadays. It's so rare. Just like the scroll. But yeah, I think the correct thing to do here is to just read blinking and not be here because I'm gonna get slowed and fighting an Ancient Lich while slow is like not okay. Okay, the Orb of Destruction, that's fine. Aha, perfect. Orb of Destruction, Orb of Destruction. Oh, it juked the Orb of Destruction. There we go. Um, it deals so much damage. I am so happy with my Orbs of Destruction when they deal like 9 dice of 10 or 11. Sometimes even 9 dice of 13. This character, 9 dice of 17. And it's not even like that high on spell power because I have relatively low levels of training. But it's still so much damage. Also, the Bone Dragons are like literally a joke. These guys are super easy to kill with Dispel and Death. Took me 6 casts to kill it, to be completely fair. We were getting some bad rolls there. But yeah, like I'm not worried about those guys by any means. There was a Dreadlich. Okay. 2 casts, 3 casts, goodbye. Easy peasy. Alright, final level of SOT. Let's read a magic mapping. This one I always do it. Like every time I go into SOT 5 I read magic mapping. Haunt, because why not? And we got a door bolt. Should I open that? I don't know. I don't know. I think I shouldn't open that. Yeah, especially because it's a door bolt in SOT 5. Like it's incredibly likely to just be 7 orbs of fire and 5 ancient liches. No, no, no. It's gonna get me killed. And I know that I don't want to get killed with this character. It's butterflies. It can also be butterflies in case you don't know. But it's not gonna be butterflies. It's only butterflies when you need it um, to not be butterflies. Huh. That is weird. Okay, I have to bug report that because my own toxic bug was dealing damage to me there, and it's not supposed to do that anymore. So something weird happened there. Okay, I guess I'll just clip it and send it as a bug report to one of the developers. Mm. It's a very nice thing that all my crawl is done on stream because I get to just like get video of the situation whenever something weird happens like that. I have done it in the past. It is quite convenient indeed. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Zombie hands, iron shot, iron shot. Okay. Zombie hands. Maybe starburst. Iron shot, iron shot. Perfect. Zombie hands iron shot feels like cheating. It really does feel like something that is so powerful that you shouldn't have access to it. But it might also be related to the fact that I have like high spell power for those things now. I know that when I started doing those things, I wasn't feeling so excited about that. But how the things have changed for this character? Okay, there we go. Mm, aha. It is pretty nice that the shadow dragons, or the dragons in general, are so big that I don't feel like I have to zombie hands them. Sometimes I just go for the iron shot without zombie hands and it doesn't miss like crazy. Yeah, I guess that moth of rat it had a 79% chance to hit, but yeah, it is a moth. It probably has a ton of evasion. I don't know it from memory because usually those are really easy to kill and you don't really have to worry um, about actually like trying your best to kill them. Usually they just die from like a single use of tin of tremor stones or something along those lines. Any random explosion. Hmm. Should I open that? I don't know. I don't think so. I will leave it alone. Yeah, maybe if I have like no issues with SOT 5, I will open it. Orb Guardians, however, do have like pretty decent defenses. So if I want to use iron shots against them, might as well use zombie hands first. Okay, running low on mana, but fortunately I'm using an Amulet of Mana Regen, which gives me just enough to cast Haunt. Okay, now I have to tank the Orb Guardian for a couple of turns to let my Haunt guys surround the Orb Guardian, and of course they just melt the Orb Guardian. Oh, probably shouldn't auto-explore from this point onwards. Um, this one is kinda nasty because there's two Sot traps. It's not so bad because they could be closer to the entrance and then it would be like so much more complicated. Um, the other one has a dispersal trap, so I think this entrance is like way safer. Okay, probably should use invisibility to prevent that guy from draining my mana. Also, it's like literally the final level in the game. You're gonna quicksilver me immediately, and I'm gonna lose my invisibility, and that's gonna be kinda lame. Aha! Yep, it happened exactly as I suspected it was going to happen. Electric Golem. I am kind of scared of an Electric Golem, not gonna lie. It's still grabbed by the zombie hands. I guess I'm just gonna wait until it dies. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk away slowly and carefully because I wanna have to deal with that ghost moth. Please get hit. It got hit, but it didn't die. Zombie hands. Haunt. Haunt on the ghost moth. Okay, it's going well. All right, what do I train now? Evocations. Yeah, normally I would have like way more of most things, and I wouldn't have that many things at 15, but sure, why not? Maybe I should train poison magic to 15 as well. I am kind of using it, so 15. What title do I want with this character? Certainly not Scorcher. Hmm. What could be a good title for me to win the game with? I have so many titles to choose from. Maybe evocations. If I'm gonna try to get evocations as a title. Okay, immediate torment. But fortunately, I'm wearing 2 pips of resistance to negative, so it only dealt 80 damage. And yeah, that guy is not so scary until it starts summoning shrooms, but I greatly outdamage it. And here we have my first Orb of Fire of the entirety of the game. 2 pips of fire resistance, and you know how it is. They hit really hard. So what I'm going to do is haunt it. Net it. Ah, yeah, I forgot. Let's try it. Net. Immune to nets. Okay. Well, there you go. Also, zombie hands, I guess. The Orb of Fire is unaffected, so we answered all the questions that the chat had regarding Orbs of Fire. Immune to nets and immune to zombie hands. And not slowed by raids, apparently. That is most unfortunate. More zombie hands. You feel weaker. I'm okay with that. As long as I don't lose my wild magic, I'm fine. Okay, now it's slow. Yeah, I am Kroll Sherlock Holmes. It's more like I'm a Kroll scientist. Oh no, that's not good at all. Or at least the one that we were fighting first is getting destroyed. Probably should haste here. How much damage it dealt to the freezing race? Now that is what I call being weak to fire. If only I could do that when I fight freezing raids in the early game. Yeah, that Orb of Fire really knows how to exploit the weakness to cold that freezing raids have. Oh, I got the worst mutation in the game. Good thing, good catch. I hadn't noticed. And also, I cannot read scrolls. So, well, that happened all too fast. When did I get that? A couple of turns ago. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Literally a turn after I got the -2 strength. Yeah, I tried my best to put some monsters between me and the Orb of Fire, but it was not fast enough. Okay, of course. Um, Brilliance, because this fight may go for long. Haunt on... No, 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 not Haunt. Orb of Destruction. That's gonna get rid of that Orb of Fire. Probably Resistance as well. There we go. Okay, Orb of Destruction. Ouch. Orb of Destruction. That should kill. I would be very surprised if it didn't kill. There we go. Okay, that was pretty sketchy, and I did get the worst mutation in the game. Do I want to lose Wild Magic for that? I think I do. I think I should lose Wild Magic for that. Um, so we're gonna drink a potion of mutation here. Let's see what we get. Strangely shaped body. I lose a bit of armor class, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm okay with those. I'm very likely to drink more potions of mutation before the level is over, by the way. Scoliosis is kinda horrible and great. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty good name. Alright, we no longer fear the Shadow Dragons now that we have 2 pips of resistance to negative. I wonder if they got buffed or something. Okay. Or Guardian. Gonna go for the Iron or for the Orb of Destruction. Killer Clown. Well, that's the first one that we have seen too. As long as you don't do anything too funny, we should be fine. Please don't blink. Struggles to blink free from constriction. That's pretty neat. Also, I could learn LRD to get rid of that crystal statue. I would have to forget about something, so I may not do it. You block the pie. Okay. Do I have anything that reaches that far? I do not. I guess I have Haunt. Aha. The raids didn't slow the Orb Guardian. Fortunately, I can just summon more raids. Yeah, just take a look at how powerful Haunt is. Like in theory, it's like underwhelming spell, right? Because it's just a spell that summons early game enemies like these raids and freezing raids. And unfortunately, Phantasmal Warriors are kind of early game nowadays with them spawning in D10 Death Knight bands. But yeah, like the fact that they get placed next to the monster and they slow the monster, and it's not resistible in any way, it's like crazy. Um, Okay, you can do very bad things to me. All right, and that would be bad. So I'm gonna haste here. Aha. We're gonna resist. No, we're gonna brilliance. We're gonna dispel on death. What's my power on dispel on death, by the way? 3 dice of 31. So yeah, I lost an enhancer, so no wonder the damage went pretty low. Yikes. Yeah, the lich there was like, "Oh, you are dispelling me? Well, I have this spell living right here," and went for the crystal spear. Um, okay, dispel on death. There we go. But yeah, that was pretty sketchy. The fact that I got hit for 73. It wouldn't be the first time that a lich hits me with 4 crystal spears in a row. I have lost characters to that in in previous runs. So yeah, better respect it and go for like the irresistible kind of damage in the form of Dispel on Death. Okay, perfect. More Dispel on Death. I have been getting a lot out of that spell. And it's not a spell that I use very often. In fact, I didn't learn it for quite a part of the game. Like, I only just got it recently, but it's been amazing. So yeah, I would get it every time. With every character that wants to get zombie hands, I would get this spell on there as well. I am going to yeah, be here, drink haste because I got marked. I guess I could also dispel or like cancel. With cancellation, I could get rid of the mark, but I think I would be okay by looting many of the monsters away from the arena. Just like standing here in the stairs, playing it safe, shooting, well, maybe waiting a turn and then shooting another orb of destruction. hmm Noxious Bug literally doesn't do anything in this arena, by the way. Unfortunate. Mm. Ooh, another orb of fire. Well, it can't be worse than fighting 2 orbs of fire at the same time, like I did before. Oh, well, there you go. That's 2 orbs of fire. The killer clown could turn me into a bat or a tree. The tree actually is like the worst thing that we could get here. Um, hmm. Okay. Clouds of magical condensation only here. So we can use Condenser Bane. We don't get acid, unfortunately. In fact, we get fire. Fire is pretty worthless against orbs of fire. But it's fine. The Killer Clown is standing on a tile that doesn't have fire. I kind of want to... No, I'm just going to go upstairs. Yeah, I don't want to deal with those orbs of fire right now. Okay, zombie hands, iron shot. There we go. I'm going to exclude those stairs. I know that on the other side of these stairs, there's a million orbs of fire. Well, there's 2 of them. But enough to be extremely dangerous. Okay, that's pretty interesting. A lot of dudes. Hmm, a lot of dudes in these. I think I should haste, haste brilliance, and start spamming ignition, and then just like do something for the orbs of fire. 2 orbs of fire equals 10 million fireflies. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Mm, Brilliance. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. It was first haste. Um, Zombie hands. Ignition. Big ignition. Very chunky. It dealt a lot of damage to a lot of enemies. It didn't really. Well, I guess it one-shot a couple of enemies. Um, but it's like so mana efficient because it's like murdering a million monsters in just a couple of casts. So literally the spell for this situation. Probably should go for Iron Shot on this tentacle monstrosity, however, to prevent it from continuing to constrict me. Almost dead. It didn't die from it, unfortunately. So many leeches, by the way, and it's kind of annoying because these guys are resistant to fire. So I'm not dealing that much damage with Ignition, but still it deals pretty decent damage. You miscast Ignition. I see. Well, that is most unfortunate. Bane, we get Poison. That's pretty trash considering the monsters that we are currently fighting. Do I have any other really bad mutations? Doesn't seem to be the case. No, Irradiate. Ooh, Dispel Living for 62. Okay, that changes everything. Now I feel like I have to step away and hope that I don't get Crystal Speared. But then what happens if I do get Crystal Speared? Those two guys could Crystal Spear me. So the safest thing that I could do is to just blink. None of them, well, one of them is hasted, but it's the one that cannot spear me. I am gonna play it safe, and I'm just gonna go for blinking. There's no point in being conservative with consumables at this point in the game, where like literally it's the end. Okay, yeah, I don't care about that. Maybe I will have to start caring if it makes my spells uncastable. But for now, I don't care. If it gets too bad, I can always fix it. I kind of want to Haunt, but Haunt and Orb of Destruction kind of don't synergize with each other. Ouch! 27. It is almost destroyed, still entirely capable of killing you. And of course it has so much evasion. I cannot kill it fast enough. I'm just gonna go upstairs. I don't think I die to it because I'm hasted and I have 2 pips of fire resistance. I don't think I take 53 under those conditions just by going upstairs. And there we go. I only took 13. That's why I was fighting on the stairs. I was hoping to try to be able to kill it before I had to flee, but unfortunately it was not really a thing that I could do. Okay, and that's like the whole gang squad. It's so many monsters that I actually have like serious issues dealing with them, funnily enough. That doesn't happen very often. Dorvolt time? Maybe later. It's kind of looking like I won't be able to do it, not gonna lie, with how difficult this whole thing has been for this character. Okay, 14 damage. I'm still on the stairs. Shoutitis. I'm okay with that. You try to paralyze me. Your chances to do that are 1%. Imagine if I had gotten paralyzed and killed there. That would have been so sad. Yeah, this character is wearing 2 pips of willpower for a reason. Ooh, Dispel Living from the crystals, from the Leech. Unfortunately, the Leech is almost destroyed. This one is way easier for me to kill, but I cannot risk it. Yeah, the damage is like highly explosive. Oh, wait! I have a way to guarantee damage on that guy, and that is my Scroll of Holy Word. Let's do it. Yeah, goodbye. And yeah, we're okay with that. Let's just go upstairs. Okay, we got rid of 2 leeches there. We're making progress. Very slow progress. And also very explosive progress, but we are indeed making progress. Okay, radiate. Come upstairs with me, Mr. Leech. And there you go. Okay, I'm gonna go down these stairs again. Yeah, the reason why I'm like juggling stairs is because that way I have a couple of turns to to like deal damage to these guys before they reach me. Okay, there we go. That went quite well. Uh, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna go down these stairs, and we're almost done with all these enemies. Almost destroyed. And there we go. Okay, as easy as that. It only took a couple of attempts of me trying to kill that orb of fire. For killer clowns, when they are grasped by zombie hands, it's probably better to just go for the iron shot. Oh, that's another orb of fire. It is alone, however, so I don't think I will need to buff to deal with it. And yeah, 4 orbs of destruction later, that guy dies. Perfect. Another orb of fire. Okay. One more. Subdued magic. We have to get rid of that. Well, I killed that thing. I killed the orb of fire. Okay, I'm okay with those. Yeah, we have Shoutitis and strangely shaped body, but we don't care about not having a lot of armor class. We lose like very little armor class actually. I wonder if it tells me. Huh. It doesn't quite tell me. Who knows? Fetishist. I guess that's a pretty good title. It's not a very common title. Okay, now I want to get 15 poison magic actually. I already have all the evocations that I will ever need. I only wanted to get that title. Okay, hopefully I killed everything and we can just like go in and pick up the orb and win the game like that. Good luck. Oh, we're almost done. Ooh, okay. It could have been paralysis. Fortunately, it wasn't. I think if a monster just randomly steps on a sub trap in your line of sight, if it hasn't noticed you, you shouldn't be affected by it. I think that's how it should be. But what do I know? I think the monster should like intentionally try to activate it against you. Okay, I'm not a fan of this. I'm just gonna kite you for a bit until I have enough mana for Haunt, and Haunt is gonna kill you very easily. Aha, looking pretty good. How long have we been playing this character for? 9 hours? That feels strange. I guess I was going pretty slow yesterday. I did notice that I was playing like significantly more slow than I normally would be playing. Okay, we are done. Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. If I get killed, it's gonna be your fault. This is my 3rd stream of it. Yes, but the first stream was really short. The second stream did last for 4 hours and a half almost, and in this one it's been like 3 hours. Do it, I'm sorry. 2 mods, an orb of fire, 5 draconians, 3 liches, and a curse toe come into view. At least the toe won't immediately torment because it would hurt a bunch of allies. But yeah, the 3 liches is like bad. Also, the orb of fire is annoying. Probably should have hasted. Aha. I am immediately regretting the decision to open this. Yep. So many liches. So many leeches. If I get Bane, or if I Condenser Bane and get Acid, this gets significantly easier. But I don't think I'm gonna get Acid. Regardless, I should have hasted before opening this. Okay, we're fine. You swear you had some laugh just now? I think you confused some with Shaper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Shaper laughed. Got invisibility, should have done that before. You blocked the crystal spear. Alright. Freezing vapor? Seriously? That's trash. It gets removed by me casting ignition. That's awful. You have love for sure. That's so bad. We got freezing clouds. Not only are these guys like very resistant to cold because they are leeches, they also get like the clouds get removed by ignition, so that kind of sucks. Ignition. Yep. Goodbye clouds. Okay, these guys are barely hurt. This is a fight that I cannot really take. I wonder if I should cast Ignition again to try to kill the few monsters that are actually vulnerable to it. Let's see. You have a 1% chance to paralyze me still. I think what I do is do cast Ignition and then just like blink away. I'm gonna do exactly that. Okay, you regain 11 mana. It's always a nice thing to cast a level 8 spell and just gain mana back. Okay. You know, I just realized that if I kill everything, I'm gonna have killed everything with a character that doesn't have any skills above 16. Well, I guess apart from evocations, but evocations didn't really count because I used Condenser Bane and I didn't get acid. So for practical purposes, it didn't do anything. Mm. Fortunately, the Hell Sentinel cannot damnation me. It can Iron Shot me, and this guy can Crystal Spear me, and then I kind of explode. So I think it may not be the worst of ideas for me to just like leave now. I could also just try to go for another ignition to keep killing the Draconians, so I have less awful monsters to deal with after I come back to this level. Because like I am not going to leave before I kill everything, right? Um, yeah, what kind of crawl character would it be if I left without killing everything? Yeah, I shudder at the mere thought. Ignition. Okay, I'm gonna press escape. Hey, every time I cast or every time I do something and I don't immediately just explode, it's like such a good feeling. By the way, the curse though is very close to being able to torment me, so I could theoretically die next turn if I get rather unlucky. Like torment, torment, crystal spear, GG. So at this point, I won't. We are gonna blink away because that literally is like a super likely thing to just like straight up murder me, and we don't want to die. Not in my 100th win. Mm, okay, Orb of Fire, yeah. Orb of Destruction, walk away. Orb of Destruction, walk away. Orb of Destruction. I miscast, huh? With 1%. Quite unfortunate. I also lost some intelligence. I kind of want to remove that. So if Muna would have let you Polar Vortex or Chain Lightning, I wouldn't have those with Sif Muna. Well, maybe Chain Lightning. I don't know if I actually have it. Oh yeah, I would have been able to Chain Lightning with Sif Muna. Polar Vortex would have been much better, and I don't have it outside of Behemoth, I think. Okay, perfect. Red Draconian Slow. We can just do that again. Perfect. Deathcap summoned. Okay. Mm, it doesn't seem visible. Interesting. Just gonna walk back because yeah, I feel like I can kill these guys very easily now that the threat of the Orb of Fire is gone. Shouldn't have gone for the Haunt there. Okay. Mm, almost destroyed. Corrosion. It's a 3 in 4 chance to hit. I don't really have other things that I can really like do against this guy. Zombie hands, but I don't think zombie hands kills from almost death. Oof. It's so like I don't like it that I'm thinking so hard that this thing can paralyze me at 1%. It should just be 0%. It can be 0%, but my 4 pips of willpower don't give me enough to for it to be 0%. That's kind of lame in my opinion. It didn't kill the Dreadlich, but at least it's next to me. It went for Irradiate. Shouldn't have gone for that. Should have gone for something else. Okay, we can just walk to the stairs. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We get hella tormented, of course, and double torment. But yeah, we don't really have to fight that. We can just wait it out. And we're almost done with the door bolt. Yeah, don't let it be said that I don't try to entertain you. um, Zombie hands. Okay, is it within range of iron shot? It is. It didn't die. Okay, and I got confused. Okay, I'm fine. I think I'm not so fine because yet again 1% chance to paralyze. I wish it was more like petrify. Gonna drink curing to remove the paralysis or to remove the confusion. Oh, again. Okay, sure. That's fine. We kill the Lich. Sweet. Zombie hands on the curse though. I wonder if attraction breaks constriction. I don't want to find out. I'm just gonna walk towards that guy and go for the spell on death. And there we go. Okay, easy. Boots of flying. I think my current boots are non-flying, so at least we got an upgrade. A very worthless upgrade, considering that we are literally about to finish the game, but an upgrade regardless. Alright. I think I'm ready to pick up the orb. Why was the orb not inside this room? I feel like it should have been. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. One of the worst mutations of the game. Alright. I'm glad that guy appeared to malmutate me, because that reminds me that I should probably drink some of these. I don't like to have -2 intelligence. Wow, that kinda sucks. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Let's just pick up this thing and get out and get my win number 100 in this account. So we pick up the orb. The Lords of Pandemonium are not amused. So let's just jump here. Jump here. It's giving me pretty bad teleports. Okay, we got out. Pandemonium Lord number 1. It flies. It has damnation. Okay, we're not doing that. Yep. If you see a Pandemonium Lord with damnation, the correct thing to do is to just like not fight it. It's not worth it unless you have like absolute zero. If you have absolute zero, you can do whatever you want. It also had paralysis, by the way, but I had enough willpower for that to not be an issue. Okay, so be here, dig. Let's get out. Go D0. Okay, another Pandemonium Lord. Let's see what we got here. Haunt, Abjuration, Invisibility. Pretty good spell set to have against me. Haunt is pretty much guaranteed slow. So what I'm going to do here is close the door, haste, make a run for it. I wonder why that guy didn't open the door. I'm not gonna complain about it. Oh, haunt. Okay, it did happen. Please don't slow me. Thank you for not slowing me. Oh, look at that! Look at this. Secret. Didn't even notice it. I happen to have an unusually large amount of digging, so I might as well put it to use. 28 charges still, and I feel like I've been using like much more than I would normally use. Oh, Pandemonium Lord number 3. This one has no spells. It has distortion and it's very fast, however, so I could get vanished, and it could be really bad. Orb of Obstruction, walk away, Orb of Destruction, Zombie Hands. Maybe Iron Shot. How? Oh, it has a million armor class. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Fireball is like a joke. I don't want to get hit by Damnation though. Okay, Zombie Hands is carrying me here. In fact, it's kind of letting me even kill this Pandemonium Lord. Yeah, it was about time that I saw a Pandemonium Lord that I could kill in the Orb Run. Oh, it is immune to fire, so we cannot Ignition, we cannot Starburst. Yeah, I guess Acid. It is next to me. Irradiate? Almost dead. Barely misses me. Perfect. What was your chance to do that? 42% chance to hit me, so I feel like I got rather lucky. Irradiate doesn't kill. Irradiate doesn't kill. I'm starting to get kinda nervous. Irradiate kills. Okay, get me out of here. Yeah, things were getting pretty out of control there with a bunch of Pandemonium Lords, or rather, not Pandemonium Lords, but Greater Demons, Fiends. Too many Fiends down there. Okay, we don't care about that Executioner. A nice Fiend. Well, it just so happens that I'm a Fire Elementalist, so it shouldn't be too difficult for me to kill that Ice Fiend. I still would rather not fight it because it is too much damage and it could leave me greatly weakened on a character that doesn't have regeneration. So that's just like bait for me to die horribly if I was to encounter some other monsters after dealing with that Ice Fiend. Mm. Oh, I'm standing on the stairs. That happens way too often. That I move away from the stairs in the Orb Run, trying to run away from a monster. We're almost done. Okay, there we go. Uh, it is done. So, if you want me to inscribe an item with your name, that would be the time to do it. We finally won a human fire elementalist. It is a shame that Railbird doesn't seem to be around to see, but there we go. Human fire elementalist, not Sif Muna, but Behumet, and I think this is a pretty uncharacteristic character for myself. Like no ice magic, no level 9 spells, a ton of intelligence, necromancy, necromancy. Like I don't use that, and it just happened to be the correct thing to go for with this character. I find it pretty funny that I had Haunt, like I got Haunt, and I had zero summonings, but I just like I have all this experience just laying around in the dungeon. Might as well just go for Haunt, and that we got it. Longsword, it's already taken. 00 OD asked for the longsword, so you're gonna have to ask for a different item. Um, if you want a or if you want a suggestion, I would say Ring of the Hair. Hat. Okay, we can do hat. Inscribe. Peacock. Underwear. Underwear. What would be the underwear for a crawl character? Boots? Scale mail? I guess we can do scale mail. Inscribe twitch.tv / Alan on Alan. And there you go. Boots. Boots is not quite underwear. It is kinda the opposite of underwear if you think about it, because it protects you from the outside. But anyway, that was a pretty pleasant character, pretty powerful too, deceptively powerful because it doesn't have level 9 spells. And Ignition is pretty good, but it's not as fantastic as Refrigeration in the sense that you can just put it on the quiver and mash it. Ignition doesn't really work like that, but I like all the spells that I got. Like I feel like all of the spells that I currently have memorized played like a part in me beating Sot. Noxious Bug was probably the one that did the least because I was fighting in arenas where it was not so good, and also by the end we saw so many leeches and orbs of fire, and it just doesn't do a lot against leeches, and it literally doesn't do anything against the orbs of fire. But the rest of the spells were like amazing, especially Dispel on Death. I feel like Dispel on Death greatly outperformed my expectations, but I guess that's kind of what happens when you have 42 intelligence. Um, so yeah, thank you for being here for my win number 100 in this account. Human Fire Elementalist of Sif Muna. So there we go. 9 hours and 38 minutes. I feel like that's because I took my sweet time in but this stream and the last one. In this stream I could have just dive shot and I could have won in like an hour. And I thought that I was going to do that when I started the stream because like I started the stream with 3 runes in Devs one. It was like just a super fast um, character to win, but I didn't do it. Human Fire Elemental is slow confirmed. It is kind of slow. Railbird also takes his sweet time playing Human Fire Elementalist. Overall, I would say that I would not recommend this for a new player. In fact, I would recommend you to win human as your last species because it's pretty boring. A better experience all the wacky craziness of other species in Crawl, both in a good way and in a bad way, before checking out human. Human is your last species, yeah. That's why I mentioned it. I think it's a pretty good idea to just leave it for last. Also, shoutouts to Shaper. We have a Shaper high score right here. Also, shoutouts to Bob and Alice. It's funny. We have a bunch of people here see me or watch me. We have Particle Face. I don't think Careful Lots watches me. Shaper watches me. Bob and Alice watches me. I think Gosh watches me. I'm not sure. Two Bob and Alice. Yeah, two Bob and Alice. And two Particle Face as well. There's your Gene Wizard that you just finished. Yeah. Hello, Bob and Alice. Thank you for watching. Kosh has watched me. Yeah, like so many people here watch me, and so many people here also are like part of the roguelikes Discord community. It really does help to be a part of the community, like a true part of the community, and just be there and be pleasant. You know, it like it's its own benefit. We're all just as good as you now. Something makes me doubt that. But maybe one of these days you will all be as good as me, or maybe as good as Particle Face. Maybe Particle Face is better than I am. Or maybe as good as Sindragor. Sindragor has won one of everything. By 0.26, I think. I think that's when he stopped playing. But in 0.26, he has already won one of everything. I think he has the Palentongas or the Jeans or the Cinder Acolytes. But apart from those, like he has everything else, and that's crazy to me. Yeah. There were times where I was playing and he was like, okay, during your stream I like streaked 2 deep dwarfs, and I was like, how did you do that? What do you do to play so fast? How do you? I was just like astonished by by Starpolem or by BMFX slash Sindragor, same person. Has Palentonga? Okay. Yeah, I guess Palentonga are 0.26. I should play a Palentonga one of these days. I should play it soon. But anyway, that was a pretty good character. I don't think I'm done yet. Maybe I could play a bit more. Yeah, sure. I'll